you, Father, for this blessing of this ministry. Thank you for everybody who's been a part of the ministry, and the 20,000 we recently have been unshadow banned. So getting to see some new faces show up here, which is nice, and appreciate that. Yeah, it's always good to bring new people into the fold. So it's not always about the number. You know, volume. I'm more about quality than quantity myself. But created all things, Father. So thank you for the good and the bad, the good and the evil, all the hard times, the difficult times, and those help to refine us. So those make us who we are. And I thank you for that, Father. It really, truly is the difficult times that refine us and make us appreciate those better times. So without the difficult times, it'd be pretty tough to ever understand. You know, if all you ever had was a good time, then how would you? You'd never know what a bad time was. So thank you, Father, for that. Thank you for truth. Thank you for Shiloh, knowing that this is not in vain. This will all come to pass. One day the judgments of all men will be, and all women will be. One judgment, the seventh shofar, the last horn in a series of, it's the word cosmos, a series, right? In an orderly arrangements, like the cosmos. So that's what the word cosmos means, an orderly arrangement. So 7, to be 7 is the number of maturity. So it all will come to pass, correct? That great and dreadful day of the Lord. It's great for not very many. That's the word. A puny number would be oligos. So thank you for oligos, the bride, that find the straight gate. Very, very few. It says oligos is what it says. Mine says oligos, because I study the Greek. He's no add or take away. You know, the Old Testament was written in Hebrew. It was the law. It was Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. In that book, he said, don't froward my agape, my shem. That's to change or add your own opinion or your own glossa, dialectus, your own version, translation, your own religion, your own personal Jesus, someone to hear your prayers. I have a question. What do you think about the Vatican? What do I think about the synagogue of Satan, decorated in, well, you might want to go see, discern all things, you know, make sure it adds up. Remember, not cosmos, but a spiritual calculator, celestial calculator, scriptural calculator, if you will. You've heard that here first. Probably never heard that term. But make sure Jonathan Kleck does a great decode on the Vatican. And you could look at all the imagery. So, yeah, you must be as esteemed as a potter's clay. You want to turn that. Jorge Bagaglio was his name, was not Francis. Was a Satanist, and you call no man father, or pope means papa, and that is father. And so I rebuke that Satanist, kitty touch, swine, low energy. Catholicism is Satanism. That's Christianity. All their insanities and isms. Mormonism. There's no such thing as prophecy. Christ was not born in the middle of the winter. That's Satan. The one that Donald Trump has his house decorated with. Mithra at the time of Rome was his name. Mithra, the sun god. Baphomet, Baal, like his little buddy Taylor Swift with their upside down, you know, upside down Baphomet symbol. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're just putting it out there. Space Force, here we go. We're just rolling with this. Yeah. will do the same thing. They all went to public school. They got told lies to their vision, Remember, they used to roll out the television and tell us, hey, we went to the moon, right? He got stung by the spelling bee. So it's quite obvious that people don't stick their face in the book and read anything, and they don't have any idea celestially what's going on. They're not magi, and they're MAGA, and that's the high priest of the Satan church. MAGA idiots, Baphomet, Bel, Satan, Satanist church, MAGA, high priest of the Satan church is MAGA. These people are like, oh yeah, let's vote for him again. Him and his buddy Joe. Skip Joe. Let's skip Joe. If we skip Joe, we can make 9/11, right? President 9/11. Abba Donald. Donald like Big Scrooge, Mr. Moneybags. McRiches, see? Television. Children, public school. Cartoons. People are more related to cartoons. They need to, they Adult Swim, correct? Hey, the Simpsons never let me down, right? So someday Trump will be laying in a casket, right? On his back, That's what he want to put everybody on their back. Government wants to put you on your back, brothers and sisters. They want you to, remember, it says sorcery, you'll be fooled by pharmakia. Oh, man, I love it. You're not going to touch me. You couldn't hold me down. You couldn't hold your feet to the fire. You don't know me you don't know, you're like an ass, two cheeks to the same hole, two wings to the same dragon, or like a mule stubborn, like unwillingness to learn. You couldn't hold me down. You could, a whole SWAT team couldn't, when I was training. So I get hit in the face with a grenade, and that didn't take me to the ground. So you couldn't touch me. You could get hit in the face with a grenade and not fall to the ground. You're not going to do anything to me. Physically, you probably, I don't care if you're 3 times my size, you're going to tie me down. So that's okay. You think so, whatever. You're upset because you see things, and you're a thief, right? You're a thief. Your 2 witnesses that he'd sent are stealing your crown. So no worries. They ripped his beard out of his face. So I take that quite offensively. Okay. Quite offensive. They ripped Christ's beard out of his face. So you don't know anything, your face or from your ass, your hole, that pie hole, you're opening up we got a matrix. It's kind of fishy. You know what the matrix is? First, to penetrate the matrix, you want to rip. They ripped him. If you rip him down from that tree, right, that covenant he made with the bride. So I'm not seeking vengeance towards you. You're just an idiot, childish, young, worried about your eyeballs. He warned he would send 2 witnesses, right? The ones that'll still, Revelation 3:11, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. So don't worry. We'll just troll you. If you want to be trolled, you need some attention like a child. We'll give it to you if that's what you need. So if you like, come dig holes with me. I'll give you a competition. You can dig holes. I already got some holes dug out for you here if you'd like a competition, and we can see this old man. If you're 180, I don't care what your weight is. I don't care if you're a giant. You're acting like a Nephilim, and that doesn't mean you're tall, the word Nephilim. So I should stop supping with vipers. You knew you was a snake before you let me in. The Greek words prognosko, to have foreknowledge of, so we can already know you by your fruit, because you've already put, don't cast your pearls in the mud. Judge them by their fruit, righteous judgment. I'm not your buddy, so don't call me buddy. Now you got to go. Pound sand. Want me to go back in time? See these big boulders kick those things for a while, turn those into rocks, kick rocks, pound sand. He said, don't build your house on sinking sand. And he was the Petra, the rock. So be careful. So you can go. You're excused. You're not welcome here. Trying to rip my beard out of my face. They ripped Christ's beard out of his face. So I rebuke you. You're an idiot. You don't know anything about Christ, and you're just being childish. So be 7, child. Do the 7 things it tells you to do in Scripture, and might not worry about your eyeballs and your earballs. What you hear, the restrainer, earballs, huh? Provolone is not a fruit. It's a tasty cheese. Oh, man. Someone's got the cheese in here. Yep. It's the stanky cheese. And I know cheese in a while, but had some rare. All right, moving on. Yes, that's a ram skull. Thank you. Somebody was telling me it was a goat, that it was Satanist because I had a goat on my wall. Gouda, it's not as Gouda. Provolone is not as Gouda. It's not as Gouda as nacho cheese. Get your hands off my cheese. That's nacho cheese, please. All right. How about some cotija? You like that? They're good. They're good. The ducks aren't the ducks aren't laying anymore, and I think I just need to get their separate shelter built. They're okay, but other than that, the other ladies are starting to crank us out some huevos. So we've been, yeah, good protein source, man. Thank you, Father. I fed Kevin some eggs for dinner. Well, fed him some more, and man, he's like, damn, I forgot what an orange yolk looked like. He has chickens back in, his other place too, but he's got, but I've been super finicky about feeding, just like anything. A lady might not like your flavor because of what you eat. So careful, brothers, gentlemen, sisters, will relate. Ducks are the same. Their eggs, you can feed them. They're changed, their colors and the taste of an egg, the flavor can change by their diet. So, you know what I'm saying? All right. Anyways, so moving on, I like to make sure they have organic feed, and I don't want to feed them any of that store bought. I find that's where they have a lot of these problems with these birds, is that they give them these. Well, some people, Kevin said that he used to, just live off his garden and his birds, 6, 8 eggs a day, and that's a lot of protein, and you can eventually eat the bird if you had to, but a good garden, they eat out of the garden, they're going to eat good, you eat good, they eat good, man. It's just that's a good kind of a reliant type of lifestyle. So heck yeah, I kind of overdid it with the feed costs this month, but I really wanted to kick them into high gear. Been doing a lot of extra, just things that, hey, just whatever. These are my ladies, I treat my ladies. These are like my animals. So I love my birds. They're good birds. So they're Rhode Island. So they're real sweet, and they're just, the rooster has turned out just amazing. He turned out to be a little stud, like he was. Cool, outstanding. I threw this black beautiful rooster. You've seen him on the live streams, and those little girls kicked his butt. He was a little bigger than them too. I think a little older, but he got his, as soon as that white one started, cacking back in that thing with her, because she started pumping out those blue eggs to begin with. He heard that, and he started tossing them down a couple times in the morning, throwing them down. He don't even do that anymore, but he bought onto his place, and he's doing what he needs to do. He needs to look up and keep his eyes on the sky out here, because we have a massive amount of predator birds out here, and I probably should put a top over them, but they're all right. We got cats out here that patrol the birds, keep an eye on the birds. We got, they bird Juniper. I bring her down. She eats more birds than she does mice most of the time. She is a bird catching fool. So, do you agree, Sherry, that the Rhode Islands are super friendly? That's a good bird. Don't overdo it. Some people pick up their birds all day. You can do whatever you want. You're animals, but they're friendly. They're like little puppy dogs that follow you around, and they're super friendly, and they'll let you pick them up, and they're just sweet. I just love them. I love picking them up. Because I had them in here because they were molted and it was cold, and so I kept them inside this cabin for weeks, and it's stuck in here like a chicken coop. Oh gosh, I had to clean the thing every other day. I want to keep them clean, walking around and they don't poop or anything. So, but man, they sure turned out to be sweet birds, and they're nice, and they filled out their feathers. They're really pretty birds too. I've got the red sex-link, which is a cross of a Rhode Island, obviously. So they're very similar birds. They're a real hardy bird and friendly and good with the other birds. And you let the chickens. Well, I had them in the house when it was cold out here in the morning. It's still cold out here, guys. I mean, I'm in the high desert, so it gets cold in the mornings, and we're just starting to get temperature back up to was it 60 or something today, plus, right around there. And yeah, they're good, source of protein. And I've done rabbits out here, hogs, sheep. Obviously Henry used to chase the dogs around. He's the craziest sheep I've ever had. He was Sheep was so silly, man. He's this high in blackberries right now, and he's trying to always, so he's in paradise, right? For Henry, but we had to not put him to green pasture. We didn't want to. He became the lawnmower that we couldn't get rid of him because he was such a wonderful guy there. But goats I like to raise goats too. They're fun animals. They're generally very curious, and they're loving animals too. They're not people. Not all of them are nice. It just depends on which, whatever. Everybody raises their animal difference like that. So I generally are very, we're supposed to be good stewards of the earth, brothers and sisters, and so these animals are part of why we're supposed to, take good care of our animal husbandry is a massive thing. That's why I'm very blessed to have the land to offer emergency services for people during like fires to bring their livestock. Imagine if you Colorado, NORAD, but right on. That's Kevin's from Colorado, and I'm in the high desert over here, not too far in the rim of the Great Basin out here, and probably one of the most amazing places on this rock. It truly is. It's a biblical place, if you will, scriptural. They found the oldest clothing. It is the oldest place in the northern hemisphere. Has been named right here where I'm at. So, yeah, multiple sets of sandals that outdate anything on this rock. So it's very, again, it's just the energy here flows above and below. That's all I can tell you. There's a lot going on underneath our feet. I think we need to have a little bit of a question. We'll have a little conversation about that too. Why is anybody talking about all the underground chasms from the cycles before, where they knew there was these celestial events that took place? And no, I'm not married. And I don't think there's a lady on this. I think I'm just not. Anyways, no, not married. We got my puppies. Got my boys. Oh, you come say hi. You come say hi. This is yonder boy. What are you doing? Trying to give me love already? I raise puppies too. Could you get out from underneath? Look at this. He's trying to. Would you come over here? So he's got that. He's crazy like his dad. Come here, boy. What you doing? You can say hi to Dad. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, he wants to say hi. He wants to give Dad some love first. So, what do you do, boy? Come here. Come say hi. Yeah, boy. He wants to love on Dad first. He just wants to love on his dad. Yeah, we're just chilling in the house, in the cabin. We got the cup of Clover just hanging out. All right, he'll come back up here. Let's go sit right next. They're always sitting right next to me, laying right next to me. So he's just being crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. You're a crazy boy. You're a crazy boy. You're a crazy boy like your dad. Well, you big boy. You're my best pants I ever did have. Yotter boy. He's got multiple names. His name is Bone. Well, his original name is Yotter. But oh, you were all right. Oh, let me adjust this screen. I need the church that goes into. No, this is an online ministry. We have another platform. We don't do bait. What? Hold on. I'll say hi after you're not looking at me. He's kind of shy. Not like that, but okay. So, yeah, this is an online ministry. This ministry reaches all. There's not any rock that it hasn't reached. We have a subscriber base of 20,000 over on TikTok as well. That channel has been shadow banned because of the covering of the. There's things on this ministry that aren't covered on any other platform, and one-off things, and that's fine. It doesn't make this channel better or above. That's pride. It's just that most of these people are not using the scriptures properly, and they're not defining, and they're doing everything what the scripture says not to do, which is idolatry. He doesn't dwell in a house made by hands. So there's a physical ministry that take a 20-acre parcel here it was 40, but this was halved and sold to Kevin. The other gentleman I talked to was from Colorado, and I have now recently purchased an in town, because I used to rent out the town hall and a church service there, if you will, hand out the Grace and Truth Ministries lessons and speak a Holy Ghost, a little Greek with people, forward, a little Hebrew, make sure they're not twisting and changing, and show them to the interlinear and show them to, it's what the bride of Christ does. That we have to go be charitable with the word, patient with people, patient with Father, patient with ourselves. That's the word agape. So we share that here. We share the gospel. So it's online. There's nowhere that this ministry is not reached. All four corners of this rock, north, east, west, and south. Get with the news. Get with the times. You need to address your ego problems. Ego. Oh, you're going to get me to try to do drugs now, right? You're going to want me to take DMT. Are you one of those or drug pusher there, ments? Or I got a psychological problem or something? Ego, pride. Where did you come from? If you've never been here, brothers and sisters, we would address the trolls. We could just ignore them. He said, don't sup with vipers, judge with righteous judgment, right? Not quick to judgment. That word is orge. Not like, come on by, so give it a try. Start sewing on body parts, right? Jack wants Jill's button and Jill wants Jack's pocket, right? Or did I get that back? I don't know. They got that switch-o, change-o on you in here, so you never know who you're talking to. So, girl, don't go away mad. Just, girl, go away. Address yourself. Okay, so what's your issue? What's your issue? Like Time Magazine, Rolling Stones, tell me your issue. All right. We got moderators. They'll moderate, brother, sister. You're not supposed to sup with vipers. Don't cast your pearls before swine. That's, low energy. He cast the low energy, not demon. Demon is the word distributor fortunes or lies. And that's what 99% of people do. They're the word Nephilim. That means bully. You ever heard they sons of God came into the traditions or women of men? That isn't anything. There was no sexual act that took place, but they won't talk about the sex act in the garden with the apple. They like to candy coat. They're religious. Either they believe, believe, well, because believe in a thought in your head. Either they believe in Jesus, believe in Jesus. You can't believe in Jesus. And the letter J didn't exist at the time when Hanshiach was hung from a tree. If they'll go to the book like Acts, it says when they took him down from the tree, they veiled his face and covered him. And remember, that veil was found by Mary. And remember how it was neatly folded, brothers and sisters. My grandmother was a Jew, and my dad was, well, never mind. We won't go there. But did you take your medication today? See, guys, more drug pushers. You guys, now watch, guys. Since you'll be here, if you'll watch, you'll push back. They'll push two things on me. They'll think something's wrong. So they want me to take drugs like Donald Trump, the #1 drug dealer on this rock, the creator of the Pfizer jab and warp speed, and his buddy lightsaber, sticking their lightsabers in Icehole Joe. And Barry, they're all Barry is Barack. That's not Barack Obama means I saw lightning fall from heaven. People are idiots. So they'll want to push drugs on me, or they're saying I have something. No, I'm a prior law enforcement officer, a prior veteran. I have CLEAT, counsel and law enforcement education and training on how to identify mental illnesses. Watch, they're going to give you guys a free psychological evaluation, or me in a matter of moments with no PhD. They won't tell me where they got their doctor. And, if they're in psychiatry, they're MD, or, if they're an ND, a nutritional doctor, and they don't. I have first responder I have more certification in times than some doctors because of the training that I received through inside and outside of the military. But they'll push drugs. So I'm not reading any comments. So I just give you guys a quick thing. You'll see. So if you want to stand here for a minute, watch. They're programmed. It's like an Android. That is a virus. A virus is a program. It's not a living organism like Bill Gates, remember, computer virus, but they think computers are alive. And I don't know where they get that from. They don't know anything about quantum computing. I'm a traffic reconstructionist. I went to the Highway Patrol Academy of Oklahoma City, received my investigation certification on that scene, traffic investigation, and further on into, again, did this inside Q9er in the military and whatnot. They don't have any certification on investigation, and they surely don't have a doctor, but they'll tell me like Noah, they told him for 126 years he was crazy. So we won't, I don't make any sense. My guy. Now, how am I your guy? 100% lies. See, watch, guys. See, they'll reject the truth. So what they'll do now is you'll see. I don't care about these people. I don't have to. I'm not here to be nice. You know what the term "be nice" means? Tell me what the word "nice" means. To be nice. Tell me what the word "be nice" means, and I'll maybe I'll address you. That you need some attention, like a child. Wear a face diaper, stand on an X, take the greatest warp speed jab ever. Godspeed or warp speed. That Hebrew word is forward. So something wrong with me? They'll push drugs. That's their thing. They want you to lay down like the government and take drugs or kill you, lay you on your back. They want you to stop it. What do you want to go outside? Oh, okay. They want to go outside. So, but we'll come back and you'll see it throughout the thing. And so I just want to address it. I might just hang in there. I'll troll them a little bit. We'll fish hook them in because they need attention. They like to push people down to raise themselves up. That's called pride or narcissism. Or they'll tell me because I actually have, certification on how to identify mental illnesses. Like, keep careful, brothers, sisters. Maybe you have a disability. Like you can't hear, cops will fool you full of lead. I know I used to be one of these pigs, a jackboot thug myself. So, but they'll tell you that, like I said, if you don't listen to, maybe your caretaker gave you the wrong part of medicine and now you're having some kind of, episode or so, the cops will kill you dead. They won't take that into, they don't even have any certification. So people, counsel and law enforcement education is training. That's a 48 state certification of how they certify law enforcement. And so I've had extensive law enforcement on identifying. I mean, people will just shoot people dead in this day and age. These cops don't care. And I apologize. You never heard a song called "Fuck the Firefighter," have you? And I apologize for my cursing. I'm not perfect. You might want to look what this is, a war thing. I'm a veteran, and that was a finger you would draw back the U bow. There was a U tree, right? And they would pluck the U bow. So, a firefighter would run into a building, correct? And save your daughter or your dog, maybe your dog's in there burning, or your gerbil. A cop only cares about officer safety. I know I used to do this for a living, so I apologize for the cursing, but I don't know how to get people's attention anymore. You got people that think something's wrong with me, but they won't address any aletheia. That's the word truth. That what the current state of this union is, I'm not trying to get you to money. Stop typing in capital letters. Only this is a ministry. We just purchased another piece of property for the ministry. If you're not part of the ministry, please leave. I have the ability through assets to sell another piece of property like I did to purchase this one, and in time people can tie to the ministry. Leave, child. There's nobody, you don't have to tie to this ministry. You've been here long enough. Time is the tie that I request. Like, give me 10% of your money. No, give me 10% of your time. So I make $1.36 a month on YouTube AdSense. I turn the channel monetization off for months. Stop talking if you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not here grifting any. We can find thousands of hours or never mention any kind of money or anything. If you'd like to donate, go ahead and donate now, brothers and sisters. This is an online ministry. People tie millions of dollars to fake churches. I can bring you to one accepted text. These teachers call no man teacher, but they're supposed to be, pastoring this gospel, and they're not. They're giving you this other gospel that Paul warned about. And they give this. Today is Saturday, okay? People went to church. I already held services today. We do this every day. It's an online ministry. He said, "Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves daily. Take up your cross." And he wasn't hung on a cross. He didn't carry a cross. See, I'll uncover what your church is. He said, "The Most High doesn't dwell in temples made by hands, houses made by hands." So it's okay. I'm not trying to turn goats into sheep. We teach that here. So if you do have a tithe, because I'll bring it up, you can do that now. I asked last time when I paid this ministry off at $47,000, and I'm a man, a veteran who gets no military benefits, no military pay, no separation pay, no Social Security. I paid Social Security. I joined the Army at 17 years old. I had a commercial license since I was 21, came out of the military. I've served this country. So I'm not asking, I'm donating all of this to the ministry. I don't need to own any land. I want to be like a bird and just share the gospel. And Father will do this, so don't worry about it. I'm not frustrated with anybody or upset. It's just because this is what we're doing at this point in the ministry. I live off in the country, and this is an off-grid property, okay? Okay, I was never in the military. See, there's one of these people, brothers, sisters, they just want to oppose, this world is very sick right now, brothers, sisters. I purchased this land and had witness that 10 years ago, this was to a community, to do off grid. And I've been off the grid. I make my own power. So this person probably says I'm not a veteran, but I guarantee you they don't make their own power. They probably don't have a single callous one on their hands. They don't have any chickens. They don't have any organic eggs. Let me let my dogs out, okay? And we'll talk about it. So I have a Cash App link. If you'd like to donate, I just purchased another property so that we can have a little freeze dryer hooked up so that we can have our underground gardens so we can provide for the communities. I also plan on going to Ecuador, where we're going to ship food back to the U.S. freeze-dried to give to the community as well. So it'll all come together. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to try to tell you don't have to gift anything, right? Gift anything. All I ask is if you have time, because you can't print time. And if you hung out here long enough, at the end of the live stream is normally when I say this, I tell you every time, you don't have to give me any money. Your time is in this ministry is what I'd like if you have it. So here's there's somebody in here right now as a witness that the land was purchased from, okay? The person that the land was just purchased for the ministry just came into the live stream. Okay. So I don't have to cover for anything. I've already put a large down payment and I want to get this paid off as soon as possible. There's a paper process that has to follow. So last time, $47,000, not one dime was given to the ministry to pay it off. Okay. It's okay. Brother, sister, 5-acre parcel that I own, I have the deed entitled to. And I will, as soon as that can get paid off, I will. So just stay free. Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping some people can come here and be a part of it. So, but anyways, like I said, the father's at work. So don't donate. And if anybody listen, I always said before, don't donate a dime. I'd rather you keep, if you couldn't donate, at least when I was just asked, before I was getting this paid off, you know what I'm saying? I asked and opened up and said, look, I don't want $100 and $1,000 donations. I mean, this is $47,000 and I don't have Social Security. I don't have disabilities. I work. I'm a farmer. I work hard. Honestly, I trade, barter, sell, and don't have to take anything from anybody. Normally people take from me, but that's okay. I'm a giver. There's two kinds of, beings on this earth, right? No, one race, the human race, human beings, but act like a human, please. But, service to self or service to others. I joined the United States Army at 17 years old. You're not going to tell me not to serve other people. So I built a $250,000 to $500,000 storm shelter out here just to archive the word of the Father. So most people aren't going to do what I do, and that's okay. I'm not asking anybody. The person brought it up, so I wouldn't even said it. I don't know. I had forgotten that I put it up as the thing because I did it earlier today. Nobody donated anything. I streamed for 4 or 5 hours. Not one penny came into the ministry. Think about how many fake churches are out there across the United States. There's not one like this. I guarantee you there is not one church that can hold a candle to this ministry. Ex-military and no disabilities. This guy's a liar. See, how do you know that? What am I lying about there? Shrill Shrimp 200. See, we'll address one of the trolls since he's shrimp. We'll go fishing and see if we can hook us a shrimp. Okay. I don't eat seafood since Fukushima, but that's all right. It's not what goes in a man that defiles him. We'll teach off our trolls. If you're a giver, remember to learn the limits because the tankers don't have it. Okay. The way the lover, because many people take advantage. Shrill Shrimp 200. So go ahead. What is your issue? You'll get a chance. Listen, brothers, sisters, we don't sup with vipers. So I have moderators. You don't cast your pearls before swine. That's what he tells us. So you'll know them by their fruit. Do not judge them by their cover. We'll give them a couple chances. And then we don't have to. People think you can't judge. They don't read. They don't have this book. I guarantee you. You don't one word study anything. If you don't have this book, please don't talk to me about any religion. This is a ministry. Okay. And I minister. I am Pastor Revelation. I am pastor. You don't understand the ministry. That's fine. This is set apart, not better, not under this covenant, not pride. God had a heavens, a ruling class. That's where the heavens are, not above your head. That's not what in Genesis, Old Testament. See, this is why this ministry gets shadow banned for years and doesn't come on. You're just starting to see this because this ministry is not something that you've ever seen before. If you're just getting here, These are the only books that are accepted in the 12th century where they literally took every word out and divided. And if you're not studying these, get out of here. You're not part of this ministry. I'm not going to have you here. Oh, you're so judgmental. Yeah. Do you own a book? Do you own a lexicon? You know what a lexicon is? This book will study every word that's taken out of this canonization. You know what the canonization. See, if all this is for you to be quiet. The last book, Revelation, so don't add a jot. You know what a jot is? See, they took every word out of this book, and the reason why they rejected, see, this is the interlinear Textus Receptus in Greek and Hebrew, meaning it's both written in the Greek by the number, it's coded by the number. That means I can pull one word out at a time and study that one word. And in this book, it pulls the one word out, and it takes it every time it's written. It tells me how many times, 5 times, and who said it, and the sentence is all pulled out. This is so, oh yeah. Yeah, I rock these churches. So people gave millions of dollars for nothing. They were lied to. Father does not dwell in temples made by hands. He used to visit one day a year behind the temple. That was destroyed. We're not under the physical law. It's a spiritual. Your body is a temple. He's inside of us. Christ in you. Fake churches telling them that they got to go to church to find Christ when he's right inside of them. Because the stones that the laws were written on were blotted out in the book of Colossians 2 and 14. The laws, all laws of flesh, and sprinkled with the blood, beard blood. Remember they talked about my beard, ripping my beard. They ripped his beard out of his face. That's right. He wants to find your garments white, clean, without blemish, washed with spiritual blood, brothers and sisters, daily and from above, not again. So, and until he returns. Okay, so this isn't in a house made by hands. He's inside of us. Christ in you. The law is fulfilled of flesh. It's a spiritual contract. You're not going to get this in not one church in America, baby. Hallelujah. So don't donate a dime. Donate your time when you have it. I don't need your money. This ministry is not for me. I'm not going to live at this place. This is so we can bring more people here. Okay, Father will provide. Just like this, it didn't take a dime from anybody. I told people, don't donate me $5, $10, $100. I need somebody who has abundance, and they will not take out of their honey. Come on, we've been donating 10%. We got a Bentley sitting out there and a Beamer. You know, we're going to this Mormon church. This man, we've been watching him. He said there's no such thing as prophecy. There's no modern day. That's the word teacher. He said, call no man teacher. I'm listening to him, honey. He's right. And we've been giving this church every month for years. This man is speaking the Aletheia, honey. We were starting to speak Greek. Remember? Greek. This book was written in Greek, honey. I said, give me your time. And at that point in time, that's somebody that I thought would help me pay this ministry off. Okay? And don't worry about it. I have a piece of land. I have other assets. They're all online. And if they sell, just like last time, that's what I was able to do. Sell the items. Not one dime came into the ministry. And I took $47,000 to pay this land off, as well as the further 5 acres, the remaining, to get it up online so that I can get, and that's what's going to provide. So either way, I'm not doing this. You know, the person actually gave me a very reasonable rate on property because they don't have a major attachment to it. And it's like more of a donation. And there I'm helping, making sure that they get on the way to what their dream, that they've been trying to be successful and being independent and away from the system and self-sufficient. And that's is their dream. And so this is going to make it all happen, and God's going to provide and make it all happen. So don't you worry about having any kind of, if you don't have the money of tithe of time, then you don't even have to stay here either. Father created all things. There is a creator that created all things. So don't worry about it. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm only here. Somebody brought it up. I'm just bringing it up. Trust me. I didn't get a dime to donate the $47,000, and Father made it happen by the sweat of this brow, the hands, and all the labor that I put in and it wasn't that long ago. I just had everything taken from me. Okay. So don't worry about it. Father will provide. Somebody brought it up, and I'm not going to be going down as a grifter. Okay. I'm not buying this property for me. I'm buying this so that we can bring people here eventually. It's all going to come together. This will allow me to hook the freeze dryer up on a permanent basis. I don't have the ability here at this Silver Rock Ranch here at High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. I'm off the grid. I don't have that power source hooked up. That might be, but this is already there. It gives me the ability. If somebody wanted to come out here, become part of the ministry, I can kind of get that stage, and then I can actually hold an online. I think I could potentially one day hold a ministry, but this is an online ministry. I don't care if anybody ever goes to that building. It will allow that if need be. You know, it's hooked up to the grid, running water. I don't do any of that, brothers and sisters. I don't live like that. I live off the grid. I'm a minimalist. I take bucket showers, okay? My dogs use more water than me, okay? So everything will be okay, brothers and sisters. It's just dirt, okay? So nothing, no worries. It's kind of silly that so much money went into fake. Just think about how much money went into fake churches. They weren't going to give you any gospel. I can teach you more. If you sit here for a half an hour, I just teach you the gospel. You'll learn more than you learned in the last 15, 20 years that you went to any church. I guarantee you will, and I'm not boasting. He wrote this on my heart. I've studied for 30 years, and I can send you a man that makes me look like I know oligas, just a fraction of what I know. So what does the Unabomber have to do? Why would you ask the question about the Unabomber? I mean, what's your point in that? Why don't you speak about the man who's actually the biggest mass murderer in chief, who's whacked everybody? You know, the mass murders are the government. You worried about the Unabomber. Let's talk about the governments there, Eric. The governments, there's an invasive hominoid species. There's no such thing as aliens. Say that's what you were waiting for the whole time. You wanted to link me to the Unabomber. Did you get your rocks off, your man chowder all over the screen? You can go now. There's a place called the Hub. You can pull your chain somewhere else, Eric. You got your attention. You're like, oh, happy ending. Go on. There you go. You got your address. You know, that's what you wanted, right? Brothers, sisters, let me tell you, these people like this have not stuck their face in the word. It says he warns of two things: idolatry. You know what I'm saying? Idolatry is the Greek word porneia. Porneia, you know what I'm saying? Porneia, idolatria, to serve their eyes. Their eyes, they're serving dirt, and Father doesn't want us to serve dirt. So, you know, I'm worried about some man when governments are literally genociding people, you know, with jabs, and they love him and they vote for him twice, and the Buddy Joe, and they're all on the same team, and they're worried about some like cycle, like autonomous one man. They're very focused, like narrow, like horse, you know, blinders. So that's okay. I won't even address it. So anyways, let's get back to the ministry. What a good opportunity there to address, you know, again, that there are, you know, probably $1 million a state was given today to fake ministries. And you're going to get the aletheia here, brothers, sisters. We're not going to coat things with lies. That is to veil. And that age is over. We're not in the age of Pisces is over. We've ended that age. I'm a Magi. And if you don't know what that is, that's somebody who can celestially teach you the firmament, the gospel in the firmament, in the celestial firmament. Psalms, it's the heavens declare the glory of God, and that is not above your head. Heavens aren't above your head. And I'm a Magi, so you're not gonna tell me that heavens are any. God is not in the sky. He's never been above our head, and that's why this channel been shadow banned for over years, because they're not going to give you this in any house made by hands. They're going to teach you some 501c3 government, you know, tax exempt, basically a corporation. So believeth on the Son of everlasting life and shall not have one sight. So the most misplaced homie in Christ, which is a pagan term, and homie don't play that like in living color or what. So, but Christ's a pagan term. So people, I rebuke the word Christ. That's not written in this book. So I already know homie's an idiot, or at least not very well studied, because the most blaspheming scripture ever is John 3:16, because 99% of the people think that the word believeth is a thought in their head, and you can't believe it's a thought in your head. So I rebuke everybody who thinks that you're an idiot, you're a child. You know, to be 7, if you did the 7 things in scripture it told you to do, you would not ever use that scripture. You would you explain to people about what the word believe means, but they don't have any basic, babble or dialectus or their basic, come on, guys, jots, come on, their grammar, not like Nelly. They're more into music and television than their basic school, from elementary, that the word believe is not a thought in their head. If they actually studied anything, they would know, but they believe you can't believe in Jesus. That's what's absolutely the hilarious thing about the most bastardized version of, it's Scripture is John 3:16. So there's no such thing as belief as being a thought. It's an action word. So you can't think a belief. So I rebuke your idiots who push this John 3:16 nonsense down people's throat and thinking you could be saved. You cannot be saved. There is no such thing as being saved. I rebuke you. Once saved, always saved. You're a child. You never even stuck your face in the book, have you? You don't own a Texas Receptus. There it goes, right there. Those who accept, right on the key, guys. See that? You can't accept Christ. I rebuke you, you Christian, you Catholic, you Presbyterian, you Protestant. You're a Satanist is what you are, because you are opposition on the adversary, the other side of the aletheia truth. That's you can't accept Christ. Can't be saved. Most people go to hell. God doesn't love everybody. No such thing as free will. Grow up. Oh, maybe that's why no donations come into the ministry. Don't worry about it. We'll get it taken care of. Oh, you can handle the aletheia, can you? So now watch. We'll see. Now watch. This is what he said. Don't add a single jot. So we'll go through someone's testimony here. Homies in Christ said, if you're persuaded that Jesus, who is Jesus? There's no Jesus in this scripture. In Revelation, he said, don't even add a letter. So I don't know who Jesus is. If you're persuaded Jesus is God. Who is God? Who is God? See, in this book, there's no God. There's no AEIOs, your barnyard sex pistol cracker Jesus, crackers in Catholicism. Homie, you're an idiot is what you are. You're a scriptural idiot. There's no word God in here. There's no vowels in Hebrew. What do we got here? Hebrew. Wow, you speak forward any Hebrew, or you twist, change, pervert, or warp. Everything comes out of your matrix pie hole. Wait, the matrix is the ladies. That's down below. There's no matrix out here. The matrix is the ladies. A guy's got 9 months coming out the matrix. The rest of his life trying to get. There's no AEIO barnyard Jesus. That's Satan, you idiot, homie. Christ is the Antichrist, and I think that's not the one. Maybe you are an Antichrist, not the Antichrist, homie, because let's get on with your testimony. If you're persuaded that Jesus is God, Father said, if I did not call out to their hearts to seek after me, I'm paused on his thing. So if you're making comments, I'm not reading them. I'm just paused on my screen on his testimony here. So we're going to go over again, the homie in Christ, which Christ means anointed in oil and is a pagan term not written in this book. See, this idiot's got even things that are not even written in the book. He said in Revelation, don't add a jot. You speak any Greek or Hebrew, that is be the smallest punctuation. Remember, grammar, tittle, like a yod or a letter. You can't add, or even your own word idolatry, pornea, idolatria. Latria is to serve. Are you learning more than you did in the last 15 years in your church? Yes, you are. I know you are, huh? See, I told you. If you'd like to leave a donation, now you can. Now you can. I have a Cash App and a PayPal, and I don't need your time. So if you're going to make a comment about it, I'm not going to even read it. I'm going to skip past it. So, yeah. So let's go back here. So if you're persuaded that now Z was not the last letter in the time of Christ. Hamashiach, that means anointed on oil. Hamashiach means Messiah, the one that they hung from a tree. He didn't hang on a cross. We'll get back to that in a moment. So I'm still reading. These guys are probably just firing comments. I can feel them, and they're not. I'm not even still stuck on not dumb. To be nice means to be stupid. I'm not stuck on dumb. I'm reading the homie in Christ. If you're persuaded that Jesus, so Jesus wasn't ever written in the scriptures, and he said, don't add the person. Maybe there's two Jesus in scripture. Oh, wait a second. Some of them are Christians they're on fire. Christ, a pagan term, by the way, means anointed in oil. So, and that he died for your sins, that you have everlasting life by believing in him, you're saved. So you can't be saved. Obviously, homie's just a complete idiot, okay? I mean, he's never stuck his face. He doesn't own a lexicon. He doesn't own the concordance. He doesn't own the interlinear. He's gone to some church. He's fallen for some mammon. He said, but you can't serve two masters, mammon and God. He said, when he returned the second of his coming of Christ, that great and dreadful day of the Lord, be sure no man deceive you. So you can't be, that's a Greek word, saved. It's the word S-O-Z-O. Are you learning more than you learn? I don't hear my CashApp ringing, brothers and sisters. Yeah, and you probably gave some money to some fake pastor. Lot's wife was not turned to a pillar of salt. No, she wasn't. You don't know the difference between an idiom and an idiot. So we're going to go back and read it one more time, showing that this person is just, there's nothing to this. There's nothing to the word but antichrist, which means if you change a jot from the original aletheia text, you're either with Christ or you're antichrist. And the word Satan means the adversary. All this is on the opposite side. The opposition, that is the word adversary or Satan, or not the antichrist. That's the one that's locked up in the word hell, is not in Scripture. It's the word abyss, not lake of fire, not bottomless pit. My Scripture, the 12th century text where they pulled everyone out and canonized and defined. See, you don't speak this. I don't hear it raining. It's okay, brother, sister, stay in here. I'm not, okay? We're going to show you all do this, okay? And I'm still working on it, so you know. That's why I make sure that I'm giving you the right. Isn't this beautiful? Give glory to Shiloh. Give glory to the Hamashiach, okay? So, homie, don't speak anything about Christ. The word sozo means to be saved, salvation, picked up, lifted, carried from beginning point to an ending point, healed. You have to endure to the end to be saved. You are a complete idiot. You are the example of exactly, and I'm skipping all your text to go to wherever we're at right now. Who do we got? Noah's in here. You're an idiot, homie. Do not speak of Scripture anymore. You are a blasphemous, blaspheming the text, because the letter J was the last letter added to the alphabet, not Z. You're an idiot. There was no J at the time of the Mithra was the sun god Satan. Jesus Christ is the one birthed in the middle of the winter. The Hamashiach were born when the shepherd, I'm a dog, I know that, to lead the sheep. Yes, the wolf and the dog, they look very similar. I know you can't make the distinguish, like this is a devil over here and this is good, and dread devil, and this is good. They're both evil. You're an idiot. So please do not speak up anymore about Scripture. Just somebody who loves this word so much, the thing he said, the very first people he deals with are the people that go, okay, I'm going to take that period out, that letter out, that word out. Oh, I'm going to give that a little bit of just my own. No, it's okay to celebrate birth. No, it's not okay to celebrate anything. We are not to celebrate anything at all. Not under this covenant, because we make our own agape and we start building towers to the sky and think God's in the sky, and balls are in the sky, and people think that they're spinning on a ball right now. That's pretty silly, but that's okay. It's not aligned with Scripture, and he said throw it out. That's where there's a reason such called rejected text. So if you rejected, and anything that's not this 12th century canonized version of the word, where they took at the Council of Nicaea to the best of their ability, transliterated, not translation. There were some words they had to translate. They had taken, remember, the Hebrew and translated that into Aramaic, and then you can't translate that into English. That gets lost in translation. You're an idiot. Transliteration means no changes to the definition, literal definition or literal text. So don't add, he said, a period, or take away, or I'll blot your name out. So good luck. There's no such thing as luck. Grow up is what it is. There's 7 things that you should be doing, and maybe you might be 7 and stop being so childish, because the very first people he deals with are the false prophets, teachers. You're going to go out and tell something about this book. Guess what? You're teaching somebody. You're supposed to as well. He said, don't boast because you know, but woe if you don't. So if this is speaking out to the bride, which is oligos, God does not love everybody. Most people go to hell. You've never read the book of Matthew. You don't know what hell is. Hell isn't a place. Heaven's not above your head. There's no such thing as a planet. You are on planet of the apes is what you are. You got bang, bang, gorilla. I'll catch a grenade for you. Yeah, I did literally. I'm a veteran, so you're not going to stop me or shut me down. I'm a soldier of God. Before all, I have an honorable discharge out of the military. Oh, you're not a veteran. Get out of here. I'm a swine veteran who served outside of this border, right? No, let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. We're not supposed to have a military outside our border. You guys are idiots. I was too when I was 17 when I joined the military. Oh, he's crazy. I know the man's nuts. Grab him. No, it's crazy for 126 years. And then remember in the book of Luke, it rains. So let these people, brothers, sisters, he said, have extra oil. That door will slam. Remember, you're going to be going in the wrong direction at the wedding. Esau killed Nimrod, stole his inheritance. The one Trump has his house decorated, Mr. 88, 77, 33. That's a Gemini. That's what a Gemini is. Say one thing, do another. It's like a bookend. Get it? Mm-hmm. So they don't know. That's okay. You cannot turn a goat into a sheep. It's not possible. The word predestination is pro horizo. He enslaved the bride in flesh and tested him with the, yes, the devil's wise. Why would the devil be poking at somebody who's already hell bound? Abyss, he said, my people shall perish for lack of abyss. I'll throw them in the abyss. Why don't you get a piece of paper and write some of this down? Yeah, this is better than any church you've ever been to, I guarantee you. We're going to uncover. That's the word apocalypse. I am Pastor Apocalypse. That's what this ministry calls me, Pastor. I didn't ask for it. We're not supposed to have a title in front of our names. Father doesn't like pride. The Father doesn't like one above another. In the old house, the heavens was the ruling class. Israel, remember? They would overcome any earthly army. Remember that 7,000 man army? If you love me, if you agape, your enemy will flee 7 ways. They'll come against you 1 way. Remember, no weapon formed against you will prosper. No fiery darts will penetrate your armor. That was the heavens. That's not above your head. That's the ruling class. These people are idiots. They think heaven's above their head. Genesis, when he created the heaven, the earth does not below your feet. That's the rule. We have a ruling class in the rule, the heavens and the earth, but people think God's in the sky. They did that, and that's why Father divorced his bride Israel. That's what Jezebel taught to the kids when Ahab went off to work, and he split the kingdom for that. Hello, the 10 powers. Remember, they gave up their authority. Those were the Sumerian northern tribes and down to Jeremiah and Judah to the south, leaving those 2 tribes that did not succumb like idolatry and imagery to Baphomet, Baal, Katy Perry's little Baphomet symbol, Mithra, the one Trump has his house decorated with. You're an idiot. Mithra was the sun god Apollyon, the bringer of the disease and the cure of the disease, and warp speed. You tell me. Remember, forward is to twist, change. Warp, you tell me, God's speed or warp speed? Forward, that means to pervert. Think about that. Yeah, put it together, brothers and sisters. That's what this ministry exposes. That's why this ministry has been shadow man. We're exposing that the Trump has his house, the final drumph, 7th shofar, ram's horn shall sound, that great and dreadful day of the Lord, the final trump. Get it? Trump. Remember, he said in Revelation 3:11, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. You must be as esteemed as the potter's clay, brothers and sisters. You must turn their works upside down. These people are, they've done flipped this religion on its head, right? No, I'm flipping it on its head. I'm turning over the money changer tables. This is what Christ did. He stood up against the perversion. Because I can define doesn't make me above. That is pride. I have to put this light at the top of the house. I've been given a much larger measure than I ever asked for. So I have to fulfill these prophecies, right? There's no such thing as prophecies, brothers and sisters. The scriptures were written already. He makes me. He's the wind in my sail. Don't shoot the angel. The angelos is the word messenger. Revelation 9:11 says they have a king over them. Apocalypse and Revelation, the same thing, to lift the veil, to remove the cover. Remember, he does not lift the scales, remove the scales from many eyes. It's the Holy Ghost is the word. It's a few fraction. He only loved Aaron and Levite under the Old Testament. That was the Gentiles. The Jews, he only loved the Jews, the ruling class, the heavens. God doesn't love everybody. Stop it. He hated Esau, and Esau killed his brother on Satan, that he has his house decorated with. Donald Trump, Mithra, at the time of Christ, he stole his inheritance. Why is Donald Trump decorating his house with Satan? Anyone? You voted for him, didn't you, huh? The mass murdering chief, the Democrat. Oh, wait, that's Snoop Dogg, right? No, the Republican. They're all on the same team. 2 cheeks to the same hole, brothers, sisters, 2 wings to the same dragon. So, all right. Hey, Tracy, you were in here last time. You and me got a bone to pick. Remember, you give my Shem, my Agape authority a bad name. So we're going to point you out. We'll put the spotlight on you. Pictures of what? Pictures of what there, Tracy? At least it's not all in capital letters. I'm shining a light on you. Last time, remember, you came in here and I told you, gave my name. I told you I wouldn't forget you. I'm like an elephant. No, not like some Democrat or blood-bekin donkey and elephant. I don't vote. I don't need an overlord. I don't need to vote for my own enslavement. I can police myself. So I know you think I'm nuts. They told Noah he was 126 years. They told the man he was crazy for building the boat and it never rained, and then it did. You'll be on the other side of the door there, unicorns. Do you have any trailers for sale? No, I have cabins and land for sale. I have 20 acres up the road, 20-acre parcel. There's a 5-acre parcel that's I own on the marketplace, and then I have cabins. I've sold a cabin to Kevin, so no trailers. No trailers for sale. I sold all the travel trailers that were out here. You have pictures of Apollo at his house? Got any? Hey, Tracy, why don't you get off your ass and everything about your name? Probably not. Tell me what the name Tracy means. All you do is oppose, opposition. That's the adversary. So you have roll around with my okay. I won't. Like I said, you can't. It's all over the net, and he actually has too on his mantle. You know, the Apollo mission. You know, you're a child. You have no investigation skills. It's not even that hard to find. Many bloggers on this platform have done whole video blogs about it, and you can't find nothing. Isn't that great? Because it's tailor fitted for your metadata. It's being held from you. So God doesn't want to bless you. Yeah, don't bless anybody, brothers and sisters. So when they sneeze, don't say bless you, brothers and sisters. People used to think people had a demon, and a demon is a distributor of fortunes or lies. I know it is. It went bad on me, but it'll come back around. This channel's shadow banned, brothers and sisters. We're going to have to deal with it. So we've got a little bit of energy coming from the sun as well, remember. So Tracy, don't come back here. You have to go find all the information. Then you can send them to predestined4light@gmail.com, and you can apologize for being such a child and giving me a bad name. And I don't know if you're a man or a woman. And I don't care if you're a man or a woman. God only created one race, the human race. So stop acting like a child. You really don't. I don't like that you rock my name and you turn it like sand is what you are. You seriously, like, you know, those last moments of time, fleeting. You got to go, man. Please. If you're a dude, seriously. Girl, don't go away mad. I know most times it's a woman, so don't go away mad. Just go away. All right, moving on. Thank you, brother, sister. Still, we'll continue to, we'll talk about it. We'll grift you. Hey, come on, give me all your money. I need your money. I want to pay off this ministry so I can go live there and be happy. And no, I already have property here. I don't plan on living on that property. If you want to donate now. All right, I'm done talking about it. We'll move on. It's always been there. The super chat's on. I don't need your money. I give this charity because Father says I have to. It's agape. The word is love. Love. So if Father's meant to be, I have a $36,000 property for sale. You know, we'll see. I don't know if it'll sell right now. I bet you it'd sell in another month or two. Okay. But that's a very unique property that I have. Okay. It's the closest property in the whole valley. People drive 30, 40, 50 miles to go take their child to North Lake School out here. And it's like the closest property to the school. So I want to make sure it gets to the right people. Wait, you rebuked me for answering a question you asked, and I just gave you a Greek word, but I don't think you know it. Any Greek word? I looked it up. Do you see any Greek word, brothers and sisters, that Tracy put into the chat? I haven't seen the pictures of Apollo's house. Got any? Then the next things, I looked for them, didn't find any, so I sued. So God doesn't trust you. God doesn't want to bless you. Your internet connection is shite. What do you need help with, Tracy? Wait, you rebuked me for answering the question you asked, and I just gave you the Greek word, but I don't think you know it. There's nothing in there. There's no Greek word. So Tracy, get out of here. I already told you to leave. Go find the information. There's bloggers who've done just videos about his house being decorated with Apollyon. Leave. Don't come back in here. You're damn right I rebuke you. You couldn't even answer my question whether you were a man or a woman, and you're going to start to ask me Greek things, and I got to define. Get the hell out of here. You're a child. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. I don't see race. I don't, I know there's man and woman, but I don't treat anybody any different. So nicely, if you put anything else in here, I rebuke you. You're going to show you're a brute beast. You're not willing to go research nothing. You're going to be total definition of brutish in nature. You'd be like an ass. So don't act like an ass, please. Move on. Thanks for your time. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. So, yep, you had to speak up. Get the fuck out of here, man. Leave, damn it. You don't want to answer the question the first time and already asked you to leave. Apparently, you got a hearing aid. You got a disability, right? Doesn't make you lower than me. Turn it up and leave now. Don't say anything else. Please don't come back here. If you'd like to send me an apology, formal to my predestined4light@gmail.com with the pictures. Good pictures, right? Good bypass. Okay, see, this is the problem with people. You just can't stop. You have no control, none. And you give me a bad name there, Dick Tracy. Seriously, leave, dude. Get out of here. Don't write anything else. And if you are, you're just showing how brutish you are. You could send an apology to my Gmail. Don't type anything in here. If you do, you're just making yourself look like an ass. Even more foolish, even more stubborn. So he doesn't like what you speak on his behalf. I tried once. I said he had insomnia. He didn't like it, but it's okay. He has cool tats. I don't have insomnia. You're an idiot. Remember, I told you people never slept for 8 hours. You're an idiot too. I pointed out that you're just a fool. Nobody slept for 8 hours. I don't have insomnia. You're an idiot. I don't need to sleep as many hours as you. You need to sleep for 8 hours because you're an idiot. Yeah. They planted by the moon, navigated by the moon, fished by the moon. Get out of here, you lunatic too. I pointed out, but he's got some cool tats. You're worried about what you see. Get out of here. You're a child. See, this is what we do. Two brothers, sister, you're not supposed to sell swine. People are giving out low energy. You're not supposed to sit there and hang out in a crack house and think you're an upright person, and you ain't eventually just a scum to you're a product of your environment. I don't think so. Trap house, whorehouse. Yep, you got $10 in your pocket. Pretty soon you're going to ask what Sir Mix-a-Lot said, and you know what she's going to tell you. Anything you want. So move on. You don't have to be here. I don't want you here. I don't need your subscription. There's a ministry where we only sup only with the sheep, not with vipers. Oh, you guys are sheep. Okay, whatever. We're going to the wedding. You enjoy your bis, gnashing of teeth, and we'll hear that harper's harp. So you can't fool the elect. It's not possible. So don't worry. Come in here and try to cause. He said he caused one to stumble. Be better have a millstone tied around your neck and cast into the sea than hurt one of my sons of God. Your mother, not fallen angels or giants. The word Nephilim means bully, not giant, you idiot. So grow up. How many nails did he take to Jesus to get holy? It didn't take any nails for him to get holy. Okay. So, right, Cody? Only 3, right? Because they yoked him. They nailed him. It's called staking, not nailing. They didn't nail him, child. So be gone, Cody. If you can't speak aletheia truths. Staked him to a yoke, and he didn't carry a cross. So if you think he carried a cross, you're a child, and I rebuke you. Know nothing of Roman torture. The masters of torture were the Romans, absolutely. Remember Mithra, the sun god? They were good at what they did. Yes, they were. You couldn't leave a Roman hanging. Citizen, remember? That's why he was Jesus of Nazareth. Nothing good could come of Nazareth. No, I don't play games. No, wow, mom, World of Warcraft or none of that nonsense. So, okay, Pan, you got to go. I don't only read Revelations. See, you're an idiot, Revelation. Right, is the only thing I read. I am pastor Revelation. I pastor this gospel as we live in the book of Revelation. You're damn right I talk about it. And that's so funny. They're a frying pan. Somebody like hit you in the head with a frying pan. Knocked you stupid. Well, stop being so nice to me. The word's nice means to be stupid. I already asked it. Nobody could define it. So stop being nice in here, okay? Trying to, get out the hell out of here. Warned of idolatry and imagery. Yeah, 3:11 and Revelation 11. I am Pastor Apocalypse. You don't know what the word means, so you got to go. Just sizzle, Miss Frizzle, nano frizzle drones up your nanos. Come on. Or you've been something up in your brain there, got you clicking. You've been programmed to do something else. I don't know. What the hell is your problem? Right? Hell, abyss, Revelation 9:11. Quote it. At least put the scripture in there so people know what you're talking about. Otherwise, it's just numbers to them. Most people, it's written on my heart, so I don't have to worry about, tablets or stone. I think, what are you, stone or something? You've been smoking too much of that dispensary pot. So you need to leave. Don't come back here ever again either, Pan. Your God, Pan God. Take your flute and stick it in somebody else's pie, Mr. Band Camp, Ball Camp. Yeah, boy, you just got fried, didn't you, in a pan, huh? Burnt. You probably don't even own a cast iron. You probably cook in Teflon. I think that's what's wrong with you. You too much. You're a plastic man. I know you. You're not a spiritual Jew. You're a plastic man. Weed. What's weed? I don't smoke weed. Get out of here, Pan. Don't come back. Don't put any more comments in here. I don't want you anymore. Holy Hearings, Holy Spirit Healing Ministries. If Pan says anything else, he can sit there and keep his mouth shut, but he won't. He's a child, like Peter Pan, Oh. So, anyways, moderate them because they've been in here before and they're just an idiot. They're worried about tattoos and they can't even put the scriptures. They're not helping anybody here but themselves. So they're trying to raise and lift themselves up. So, all right, Cody's got to go too. Cody, get out of here. You're just trying to blaspheme my Hamashiach. So he didn't carry a cross. You're an idiot. It didn't have anything to do with hunger. I rebuke you. Stop blaspheming scripture. Don't speak anything. There's no such thing as the word Jesus in scripture. No, the letter J didn't exist at the time of Christ. And if you read scripture, you read this modern day version in the text, Greek, it would say there is more than one Jesus. So which Jesus are you speaking of? Stop being an idiot. Don't speak on this book. So you liking this, brothers and sisters? This is what we do every day of the year. We've done this year after year. We're not going to let you come in here and he said, guard my commandments. You come in here as one of these religious people, you'll find out that the Alathea will rebuke you. That's what we do. Many are called, but only gods are chosen, brothers and sisters. So, hell for review. Ken wants to see my poll, guys. God, he must be a Native American who wants to see my poll. Like with the eagle, just the tip. So no, you can't do that. Ken, that's naughty. You must go after the one Donald Trump who decorates his house with a pole god. Nimrod. Get it? Has he got your blood pumping there? Ancient relic. There's multiple Jesus. What? Yes, there's. Oh, Tracy's back again. Okay, Tracy, I asked you don't say anything. Don't come back here again, and you are speaking on this channel again. I'll remove you myself. I have a little more authority than my regular moderators, so I want you to keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything else. I don't want to see your name appear ever again. Okay, you hear me, Richard? Dick, like Pole, Pan was in here, Peter Pan. I'll fry you right out of here too. You better keep your mouth. You know what the Fifth Amendment is? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do will be used against you because the word can, kick the can is vain. It's worthless. It doesn't need to be there. You better assert that right. Otherwise, I will assert your right and silence you. Yes, I will. You've already shown you're vain. And your name, Agape, is Shem authority, not Jesus or not Tracy. Well, actually, the letters in your name, you carry the same one, and you're giving me a bad name. So don't point anything else. I don't care if you type anything else in this chat. You'll be removed every single time. Every time I see you, unless you can formally apologize in a predestined4light@gmail.com, email me with the picture of Mithra, the one that house is decorated with, or don't type anything, or I will moderate you. And I have a higher power than the moderators do, so don't type anything else. That's your last chance to have contact with this ministry. You have to contact me at Predestined4light. Send me the pictures that you didn't want to look for, and send me the pictures and video links to the blogs, and you can come back on the channel. You can participate, be a part of the ministry. Otherwise, don't put anything else in here. Okay, I will moderate you. I only give my moderators a certain amount of moderating power that they have, and I have more moderating power. So just be quiet. You can be quiet and listen, and you don't say anything, and prove you're not a brute beast and want contact with me again. You're going to eat your stinking words. I haven't seen the pictures. See, this is what I'm talking about, brother and sister. So goodbye, Tracy. Don't ever come here. Don't let the good Lord split you where you're about to get hit. Okay. And your fourth point of contact. Don't come back here ever again. You give my name a bad name, I rebuke you. Brothers and sisters, what this idiot can't do is can't go on the internet, which this, and they do limit some of us, brothers and sisters, but you can find that Donald Trump, 4 + 5 is 9, 4 + 7 is 11. You're out of here too, frying pan. Okay, so 4 + 5 is 9. That's President 9. 4 + 7 is 11. Donald Trump is 9/11. Okay, he's the man responsible for dropping 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes to start all these oil wars. It wasn't Osama bin Laden, was an oil tycoon who did dishes, right? Dishes. No, he did deals, oil deals with the Bushes. Grow up. Oil tycoon. The bin Ladens were oil tycoons like the Bushes. So is Donald Trump. He's got the Tesla technology that John Trump has. We never had to fight one oil war. No person should have ever died over oil. And it's the Trump regime, John Trump, who you can find all this information not hiding in anymore, who's not allowed this megalithic structures that we've had that can't be built. Yes, we could. Frequency, resonant waves, Miller. I'm a veteran. I've seen this technology. I did things I'm supposed to shut up about. So I'm not going to sit and argue with you about any of these things. And in your opinion, you haven't had the decades of study. If you cannot go investigate, okay, at 19 years old, I was certified as an investigator, okay? High Patrol Academy and as a reconstructionist at 19 years old, okay? I started very young in my career. Started using the military and outside sources to be able to receive more certification than many had ever had. My wife got pregnant when I was way in the military. And so I stayed in the military and she left, and it was like a prison sentence for me. I just did my time. So I did things. I was sent to all the classes. I graduate in the top percentile, and they didn't even have to ask me. I was young and in shape and scored high enough to choose any job that I wanted in the military. And that's what I did. And Father made me do it. So it's okay. If you don't see that this man has got his fingerprints all over this, that's fine. I'm not going to try to convince you that, Joe Biden is not Donald Trump. They are the same. Joe Biden is Xi Jinping is Donald Trump. They're all part of this whole administration regime that's going to continue to bring this set that's already happening, World War III that's already happening, all these things already, and everybody in America is just like, everybody outside the walls of America knows what's happening, but not in America. They don't see it. 4 + 5 is 9. 4 + 7 is 11. You see why 81 million people voted for Joe Biden? Oh, well, we're going to skip Joe Biden like an Uno card game. You want to go back to the future? Oh, wait, skip, reverse. You've been played. If you seriously think that 3 steel buildings were dropped with 2 airplanes, I sat there. I worked the Olympics for Campbell Ewald, the largest marketing firm in the United States of America, with Chevrolet. Remember, see the USA and a Chevrolet? Showed up in Warren, Michigan, took the Olympic flame all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, into Salt Lake City, 48 states, hit these lower. I already been to most of these cities in 65 days, okay? A tyrant me passed the torch to my brother, but I know how all this works, brothers and sisters. You don't understand what they're doing under your noses. All this is being done. Yeah, this Olympic torch, this Olympic flame, raising this flame up and lighting this torch in Chevrolet and Ewald and Warren, Michigan and Salt Lake City with these Mormons. And you think all this goes on by chance? And he's talking about getting these games. He's getting these games back here in the Winter Games. Remember over there in China, they disappeared all the people. They already did it here. Nobody's talking about all the people that disappeared in San Francisco. Never once have I heard it brought up ever again. I think I'm the only blogger who talks about it. Nobody cares about all these people that went to missing in San Francisco. Overnight, they clean the streets up. Feces, crap everywhere, fentanyl needles, little cities, tent city, little RVs. Overnight, cleaned it up. So the president that's responsible for this is Blind 11, and because I went there after that, knocked down 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes during the, before they ever made that news deck that you guys got to see. I literally saw brothers, sisters, and before, obviously I'm a reconstructionist. I'm not stupid. Jet fuel, the rate of combustion, and steel. I mean, you don't even have to go there. I saw those 45 and literally just, brother says it was still smoking at that time, if you know when the Winter Olympics was. So with my own eyes, as a military veteran, went there and saw with my own eyes what had taken place. This was an event that was not, some dude in a cave in the middle of frickin' the desert. This was an event that took decades to prepare, and that they pulled the switch on. So you don't have to agree with me. If you don't think, then go ahead. Think that some oil tycoon who did deals for over a decade, oil deals with Trump, he's a business tycoon. You don't know anything about the man. I've been studying this man for 30 years. The man that said, I'm going to invent a microscopic line of camels and I'm sparing no expense. And you're not going to talk about that either, are you? So anyways, the reason why we're making a big deal about this, brothers and sisters, is you don't have to have a degree. You don't even have to be an investigator. Most of these people love their television and their movies. They put his little, deck myth or this in movies. There's been bloggers that have done Dabu 7. He did a whole blog about Trump Towers and all the decorations and Apollon, and he did a good one. That was a short. It was only like 3 minutes, but it's been in movies. They're not hiding this. His tower is 58 stories tall. It's 58 stories tall. Toast. Is anybody with you? You're toast. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. You don't have to agree. You think some fucking oil tycoon who did deals with it. I'm offended. I'm a veteran, okay? We never need to have one oil death. No veteran should have ever been overseas over there, Bretton Woods, brokering the Bretton Woods Agreement. Now we're going to go over there and protect the Saudi nations. I thought our dollar was supposed to be back with gold and silver, not oil. Get the fuck out of here, child. Yeah, burnt toast is what you are now. Move on. You do not have to sit there and agree with anything I say. But it doesn't change the fact, the most unpatriotic act ever was 9/11. They're still touching our fucking kids. Get the hell out of here. If you don't agree with me, leave. I don't care. I get a little PTSD when I think about 9/11, how long it's been in this country just allow this to go on, and they keep degrading these people's rights. Yeah, has there ever been any children flown into an airplane? You can't take down a steel building with a fucking airplane. Grow up. I apologize for my cursing. Just frustrated now, I guess, How long is this going to go on? Well, this is the way Father wants. I'm not frustrated. It's passion, brothers and sisters. No frustration. And the PTSD is fine. You don't have to agree with me. Not only did they use pyrotechnics, pop, 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 decided to pull it. They used Tesla technology. You know nothing about building 1. No, Tower 1. It was building 7, which was CIA headquarters. Okay? It wasn't Israel who did it. It was Donald Trump. No, it wasn't. See, that's when you guys, why would Donald Trump be president? 4 + 5 is 9 and 4 + 7 is 11. And then he decorates his house with Satan, the one that's locked in the abyss, which is the no knowledge that you don't know what the word hell is. It doesn't say bottomless pit, you idiot. I have the text right here. These are the ones where they pulled every word out and defined it in the 12th century. And you don't own one, so don't talk to me. You don't talk to me if you don't have the text in Revelation 9:11 says that they're king over them. Apollyon, the one he decorates his house with. The sun god, Satan, the bringer of the disease, Mithra, in warp speed this time in the cure. Yeah. The rider on the white horse, brothers, sisters, of Apocalypse is the one with the bow and the arrow, the toxon, the bow, the sticker. Look at his family crest, reaching through the box, grabbing the tip of the spear. Guys, this is all being done by this book. So don't have to agree with me. You do not have to agree with me. What happened to 10/24/24? Well, remember we had Hurricane Helene that wiped out how much? So that water event that didn't happen on all shores, we did have a massive water event, correct? Did we not? Yes, we did. So, and I never said that that was going to be act, but it was a pinch. So, yep, it did happen. We did align, and I do believe, right? Not like a thought in my head. They've been able to use their Hadron Colliders, not just one, LHC in Switzerland, to keep this atmosphere from pressing down on us. Yes, just like in the 1800s, it happened in the 1700s when we were in, ice ages, many ice ages. So, anyways, but we didn't get it exactly, but we did have how many dead people that are still laying, on the East Coast, North Carolina, 7.5 hours, a hurricane spins inland, right? Wrong. Induced. I'm not saying it didn't come off the Africas, but anybody knows that Elon Musk with his satellite knows where all those dead people are laying. It was all about lithium and batteries over there. So, that's exactly what happened. Didn't get it all correctly right, but how many people lost their lives? And I offered people to fucking come here, man. That sucks. Think about all those dead people that had a place to stay here. It's a good thing Father writes all things. He didn't want any of those dead people to be here, right? So didn't get that 1024 alignment correct as far as thought that they could cause the pinching of our atmosphere, which could cause a potential lifting of the tidal because there is a cycle, and this time we have been blessed. So remember last time we had Palmyra, Palmyra. We had, what that was, not Honga Tonga. Well, they were covering it. Pompeii, the last time it happened. So we've been blessed, not to that Father, hopefully, if it was them that protected us, obviously with their LA, I don't know. But we did have a massive water event, did we not? And how many people lost their lives? So how many people lost their lives in Hurricane Helene? But nobody ever talks about that either. There's people, remember all the FEMA came in and all those people had to go in and go around the government on mules and stuff to get the government just sat there. FEMA didn't do anything. They were cutting off supplies. So let's talk about that date and back there where literally how much of that people, they're never going to rebuild that. You know how long it's going to take? It would take a Manhattan style project to rebuild. That literally wiped out the sewers. You don't know anything what happened over there, do you? People are still suffering. There's still people trying to find their relatives dead in the dirt still. And you don't give a shit about it, do you? No, you don't. USA, you still, why don't anybody talk about, if they turn this country over to a national emergency, this country, if you'll go back through the blogs of Truth Viral Television of the 923 executive orders that Obama passed, one of them is Executive Order 110040, which allows them to relocate whole communities and put you into work camps. Work camps, brothers and sisters. They've done this before. But in that case, in a national emergency, the president of the United States steps down. Congress can't go back and dispute that, cannot put any legislation for 6 months. We're in that position right now. In case you don't remember, he declared a national emergency day one. So it happened during the scamdemic. It's happening right now, but you don't think so. Oh, you'll still see him on television. Absolutely. Remember, groceries are getting cheaper. He doesn't know where the Congo is at. He's going to see him on television. But why do you always stay up too late? Why do you care about me, Justin? Stop caring about how late I stay up. What are you, my mom or my dad? So, all right. Moderators, Gary, you're out of here. You're an idiot. You got to repeat what somebody says. You're a parrot. And you're not my mom or my dad, Justin. So kick rocks. Anybody else? Come on, say something. It's past your bedtime. We'll just get him out of here. It will be easy, brothers and sisters. Watch. Come on, guys. I got this. I'm doing the moderating, so you're not coming back in when I moderate you. Won't see you tonight. So speak up, you swine. Speak up, you fruit, you bad fruit. So it's past your bedtime. See how easy this is, brothers? Vessels of wrath, vessels of destruction, fitted for destruction. Enjoying your night. All right. He's definitely past his bedtime. See how easy as this is, brothers and sisters? Thank you so much, Father. You'll do not judge them by their cover. You'll know them by their fruit. What does this say? It's definitely past my bedtime. All right. If it's past your bedtime. You're just entertainment. You're just entertainment to me. Okay. Well, you're not coming back here ever again because it's not an entertainment channel. It's a ministry. Thanks for coming in from Germany. I hope you're not one of these swine. We got people, I think most from the U.S. that are in here. There are many swine in the United States. These people don't even care. They're going to draft our women over here. You know what I'm saying? Draft our women and repeal posse comitatus. So we're going to change the conversation here to why aren't American men speaking up that women can be drafted in America now? Either have that conversation or leave, please. Because Christ stood up to the version. We're not supposed to send our women to war. They just killed a whole Ukrainian generation, brothers, sisters, with tax dollars, American W-2 tax dollars, your bond, treasury. Yeah, they send their women in the meat grinder. Now they're going to do that in America. And if you're not willing to talk about posse comitatus is the conversation now. So we're not going to grift you. Nobody donated a penny, guys. Imagine that. Been here for an hour and a half, not one penny poured into the ministry. And somebody started this conversation with me by telling me that I was grifting you because we purchased another property for the ministry to, have a freeze dryer so we can have our underground gardens, take the abundance and make sure we don't lose anything so we can donate it to the community. And they gave millions of dollars to fake churches today. So this is what we do here at High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. This is a worldwide ministry. I have to apologize. A little cold out here, guys. I burned up all my firewood because my windows were all shot out by the state police. So if you need to be entertained, you go see this veteran. If you want to see somebody in pain, go watch me get grenaded by the state of Oregon for standing up for your rights. As a veteran, I only have one right in this America now, and that's my First Amendment. People are just like, yes, yes. So go watch me get hit in the face with a grenade, and then you can get your rocks off if you need to be entertained. It's on the playlist. Go watch it. Go watch me plead out, get tear gassed. You'll probably just love watching a veteran getting tear gassed. Go get your rocks off if that's what you need. But I apologize. My nose gets a little runny sometimes when it's cold. So Blue's a liar. So what about this? I didn't know about this with the draft. Well, Gina, okay, now listen. Would you send your women, your children, your daughters to war? Would you send your daughter to Israel right now? That's literally committing genocide to other countries to go into Palestine, to Gaza. Would you send your daughters to Yemen right now? Would you send your daughters over to Ukraine? Blue is a big liar. Who's blue, Gabe? Who's blue? I don't know who blue is. We don't do red and blue in here. They did that during Rome. Democrat, lollipop, right? Lollipop, Democrat. Which lollipop? Yeah, blood bucking. Which one are you licking? You're kind of over. Let's see what this person. You're kind of over exaggerating it because most people are going to say that America is terrible, but again, you're using the internet that America pays for. Did anybody understand what that means? I'm not following it. So no, I wouldn't send anyone. I live to war, but why should they not be allowed to enlist if they want? Okay, well, first of all, Bert, I didn't say women can't enlist, but we don't draft. I didn't say women couldn't enlist. This is not a draft situation. So please keep it straight there, Bert. I'm not talking about I joined a volunteer military. It's a volunteer military right now, but they could take national emergency, declare war, and we're already at war. Just Americans are too stupid to figure it out. There's never been a single war in America that's been started with a bomb or an ordnance falling. So, no, wars start with embargoes and sanctions and tariffs. President 4 + 5, 9, 4 + 7 is 11. President 9/11, Donald Trump already sanctioned China on his first go around the 45th administration. 4 + 5 is 9. Now he's 4 + 7. Skip Joe Biden, his buddy, his behind buddy. They both been to the island. They're island boys, right? Yes, they are. They're EpiPen Island boys. You don't know how war is. You don't know how George Washington, at least he went to, the front lines. Donald Trump went to EpiPen Island. And so did Joe, and so did Barry, and so did Billary, and so did all them congressmen. They're all in on it. They're all in on the same team, two cheeks to the same hole. You just got played like Rome, red and blue. Give them enough bread and circus, they'll never revolt. Super Bowls, halftime shows. A minor, Kendrick Lamar, bell-bottom jeans, Bell Baphomet. You're getting played like a controllers, which are like a game. X's and O's. Controllers. You don't know how to decode it. They do satanic rules throughout your television. Put them in your children's television. Adult Swim. Yeah. The Simpsons never let me down. I told you I'm an investigator as the victor. Reality falls between the lines. They won't call me crazy. Most people can't distinguish forest from the trees. Micro, macro. Nope. And I've got the problem, right? You can't see 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes is 5? Oh, wait, 2 plus 2 equals 5. Get out of here. See, I mean, you're looking at the obvious right in front of your face. So what I point out on this channel is the obvious. You can relearn these things that you think you were told, and you can unlearn, you're blasphemous. You know, a man who did deals for over a decade in oil with the Bushes, Osama bin Laden, who Barry Soetoro, wait a minute, his name is not a Barack Obama. That was his uncle's name. The normal homosexual Barack Obama, remember Mr. Adam's apple, his wife. Why don't you look at portion? It's going to go back to this question about enlisting women in the military. Women have a different physical standard. I, as a male, not saying I could force my into any orifice opening, I choose of a woman. Most, not that they're not hardcore, they can dislodge a near watermelon out of a crack and leak 9 quarts of oil every month and not die. That's insane. I don't think I could do that. But anyways, they're hardcore. Okay. I work with, Sergeant Beanock in the military, police sniper. Okay. You do not put your women in combat. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not that they don't have the ability. I think the women of America, we're going to lose about half of you right now, are much stronger than you men. You're weak men. Posse comitatus, that means they can take the military, and all those weapons that were not supposed to be used as a law enforcement are now pointed right at you. And if you take that women guns away, get the fuck off me, you big motherfucker. Bam, that's right. I'd hope that they never have to do that. But that's the equalizer. I don't think I give a shit if a man has a gun. You want to go hunt, great, but how about a man that wants to hunt a woman? Fuck you, men. You allowed the posse comitatus. You don't think they're going to come take your rights? Bad Man Orange already passed that red flag gun law. Posse comitatus means they can use the military against you. That's right. He already said now twice, military to your door. Remember the jab? He was going to use the military. It's going to happen, brothers and sisters. You just sit there and just wait. Nobody ever said, fuck you, boss. I'm bringing Mr. Smith. I'm not getting paychecks anymore on paper, right? I'm getting cash. And Mr. Weston's going to make sure that I'm not having to wear that mask. So every Friday, we're going to settle up, right? I got Mr. Ruger in the car. Nobody stood up during the code. Nobody said a damn thing. You know how offensive it is? A veteran, we wear face diapers, mask covered on our whole faces. You can't eyes and wet air, no decontamination, proper biocontamination procedures, nothing. So you have a choice, and men stand on an X. Even the women, right? Only women over there in the desert, burqa, veil their face. I come home and it's Sharia law in America. Men are wearing face diapers. You men are weak in America. I don't need your subscription. Carry on as you were. Move out, draw a fire, because you didn't do nothing to protect these women. You have allowed their rights to be taken during war. They're going to listen. I'm a veteran. I don't care if I'm not reading your subscriptions here or your comments. If somebody's trying to peel my grape, split my wig, shoot my head off, and I'm in a foxhole, I don't see color and I don't see race. So if you're one of those, I there's any races, and I don't see color. There's melanated skin and less melanated, and people have eyes shaped not because of race. He created one race, the human race. Guys, let me get a nap to blow my nose here. This whole side of my body got hit with the grenade, guys. I've suffered a stroke. This side of my body is not the same anymore. So I'm permanently scarred for standing up for your rights. I don't care what you think of me. I'm going to do what Father does. He's the wind in my sail. He can let me get hit in the face with the grenade. Even when I was in the military and SWAT, Special Weapons and Tactics, LAPD, Metro, the number 1 police department in this nation, trained, certified, underground, building entry. You can't take a concussion grenade to the face. It's not even meant to throw at somebody's face. With earbuds, earplugs, hearing protection, you're going to hit the ground. You're going to go to your stinking knees. It's meant to go into a room like a smoke and feel, or tear gas, which I took 5 tear gas canisters after being hit in the face. Yep, to the ground, on your knees. Vision gets wrecked, spotty, white. I don't even know how I did it, Rose Sister. So I'm thankful. You give me a second. This side of my body is not the same. Even in the last couple live streams, I've noticed that it's just getting worse. My chest I'm suffering. The eyes, Go watch the live stream. You want to see me get hit. You need these people need entertaining. You just want to come in here and have a good time. It's just for entertainment. You go be entertained about other people's pain. It's quite entertaining to me how people derive pleasure out of other people's pain, right? No, that's not entertaining. That hurts my heart to think that a person, now a man or a woman, could sit there and derive pleasure. That's what most people understand. Lift themselves up. So I'm a service person. I service others because this is what Father created me at 17 years old. I joined the United States Army. So I'm not going to stop serving people, brothers and sisters. People might try to come in here and change me, but I have been literally stripped of every single right. As an American, I have no constitutional rights left, and I'm sure people just love that. Hey, what's up? I'm drinking beer. What's you drinking? Nobody's drinking beer here, idiot. Get out of here. I don't need anybody here that's intoxicated. It's not what goes in a man that defiles him. It's what comes out of him. So I apologize for the cursing. Other than that, I have no regrets. I'm not sorry. I can only apologize. I'm flawed. I still have issues. I'm a man that's constantly in study and trying to relearn the things that mistakes that I made. But I know the things that I did as a military veteran were wrong. Throwing people in a rape cage without a victim is not correct. There's no victim. There's no crime. So I don't like what they've turned this country into. It doesn't mean that I've turned my back on the people, but I rebuke this country. It's turned to an apostate, and it was blessed. George Washington went to war. I'm not inside our borders. He said, no foreign entanglements. We are not following this new covenant. So I don't care what people think about me. He's ranting again. Well, you can leave. You don't have to stay here, okay? This is not a rant. This is the truth. You just don't want to talk about it. You're going to go down as the silent majority in history. You will not speak up, and you are going to be that side. I will not. I only have one right as an American, and that is my First Amendment. I've been stripped of my second. No criminal record. Army veteran, honorably discharged because I stand up for your rights. I've violated my Fourth Amendment to be. If I had like a animal come off the hill, cougar or something like that, because I live the tree line, start attacking my dogs, I just have to let them shred my dogs. They come down in my kennels, my pens, my birds, my ducks. There's nothing I could do. I just have to watch them get just taken out. And I thought the Constitution, under your Second Amendment, it said shall not be infringed without a trial, without any kind of. They just came in and took my rights because I keep standing up against the corrupt cops in the valley that I live out here in. They set the state of Oregon because they didn't want to look at the case, because I've been doing this for decades. I stood against a lot of things in the military. I was a military police in the Army. I stood up against people in the Army as well. You put your shoes on, your boots on, your pants on one leg at a time like me, you ain't above me. Now, I'm not saying in rank that I know how to lead, follow, but not you're going to do it. You're going to do it by the same standard that everybody else does it. So you don't have to agree with me, brothers and sisters. I don't mean to go off on this. It's an organic channel. So we just, wherever the Father takes it, you're going to have to run with it. So I'm trying to do the best I can with what I have, brothers and sisters. I get stripped back, from my constitutional rights. 6 years ago, my own family took everything I owned from me because they were afraid that my blogging and stuff was going to get them, killed, because I was pointing out, going after the Clintons and Obama back then. And they didn't like that. And they're very wealthy people and are in, they have people, they know my father was an actress, or my father was an actor, my grandmother was an actress, my brothers and sisters all have good paying jobs, millionaires and TV and all that. And I don't do any Hollywood. I don't like Hollywood. I don't like any of that television. I live out in the dirt, and I live like a minimalist, and I carry my water. You appreciate every drop of water when you carry it. I have on-demand hot water heaters. I can take a shower anytime I want. I just choose to use a bucket instead of just wasting that much water. I give the rest of it to my animals to make sure they got good clean water all the time. So I do things because Father is made me this way. So I joined the military at 17, brothers and sisters. As a military veteran, I took an oath to this Constitution. I'm going to protect this Constitution even if they kill me. And they already came to kill me once. So they're not going to get me if Father doesn't want me. My day of death is already written. Okay, so it is what it is. That's why I'm asking, and I have not received one single dime donation, and I already paid this ministry off without having Social Security or disability. And I broke my back 2 times. I have documented in medical records 2 times my back being broken. I don't receive any Social Security. I don't receive disability. I don't receive veterans benefit. I don't receive anything. So I work hard for what I have. So I made this heading of this thing that if somebody wanted to donate, they could. And we started talking about that. And that's what kind of got me on this subject. And we were just talking. I can go for all day. If this ministry was paid off and I knew that everything was going to be okay with this logistical thing, I'd sit here all day. So not that I would. I work all the time. I'm just saying I'd have the time and the ability to do that. So I'm blessed to have the time and abundance to come in here and do it. So if people don't like it, they don't have to stay here. You don't have to agree with anything I say. You're supposed to be running and discerning all things through the book, through your spiritual filter, and, spiritually, celestially, and biblically. I hope it's calculating and adding up. If it doesn't, don't listen. Throw it out. You're supposed to reject anything that's not in the narrow way anyway. So I won't try to change you. That's not right. My dad told me that at 8 years old. Don't worry about it. I'll just rebuke you with the light. So love thy neighbor like thy love thy enemy, like thy love thyself is my biggest problem. I'm just really hard on myself. I have a high standard. When I was in the Army, I only knew go. I didn't know winners know when to quit. Winners never quit. Move out, draw fire, soldier. No. Sometimes you got to pull back to the rear buses. Sometimes you need to actually rest and take time to, make sure you don't go rabbit ears. You got nothing in your pocket. You go to a blackjack table with $1,000, shouldn't go bet anything, but you should go there being able to lose it all. But if you get there and you throw 500 to the blackjack table and you decide to get up, and are you a winner or are you a loser at that point? That's half full, half empty. So you tell me my brain don't work like yours. Probably that's okay. I'm not asking you to be me. I don't think there's anybody else like me on this rock. I have told people this ain't about me, but you can't clone me. You couldn't make a double of me. There ain't no doppelganger that's going to act anything like me. You will not find another man like me on this rock. So don't try to be me. I won't try to be you. Don't try to change me, and I won't try to change you. My dad told me at 8 years old, it's not right to change anybody's son but yourself. It's just not right. The only person you can change is you. So don't come in here and think I'm trying to change you. And don't think anything or the thing is going to sway me unless you're using the word to heal me with. Right on time. Look at that. Healing Ministries. So. Okay, what are you going to lift me up in prayer for? What kind of prayer are you going to say for me there, Ministries? What kind of prayer? Don't say any prayers for me in Ministries. Do you know what it means to pray? So we'll get rid of that wrench for you. All right, so no more wrench. So what do you mean you're going to pray for me to lift me up? What if Father wants me to go through harder times? What do you mean pray? What do you talk about pray? Can you define the word pray? Okay, but what kind of prayer do I need? What kind of prayer do I need? What if Father wants me to die here in the next week? You want me to stay alive prayer? Is that what you want? Holy Spirit, is that what you want? What does Father want? Answer my question. Don't answer my question. What kind of prayers are you going to say for me? We already talked about that, Ben. It's been talked in here. All the charges were expunged, and his name is Mike Miller. It's Donna. It's Australia. Why are you being rude? I'm not hearing what I'm saying. What prayers? Doesn't matter who you are, Don. I don't treat anybody different. I don't. What prayers are you saying for me? What's your struggle? Why don't you want to be a moderator? Speak up. Don't be beat around the bush with me. I've never been that way with you. Why would you be that way with me? I don't hide from you. You guys sit there. You can go through all this ministry. You guys are so childish, just like that person earlier couldn't find the Apollyon, So don't say any prayers for me, Donna, like that are unnecessary. Please don't waste your time. You're don't pray like the heathen, worthless or long or repetitive prayers. If you want to pray for me, I hope you're praying for Father's will and nothing else. What if these cops are going to come out here tonight and kill me? and you want me to be alive so I'd come out there and meet you in Australia. If you have a problem with the ministry, you don't have to come here anymore. That's okay. I appreciate it. This lady has followed me all the way from TikTok, brothers, sisters, when this channel was just 300 subscribers. So this my sister Donna, and she's a very set apart person. So I have to have this conversation. So she's been a moderator on here for years, guys. So if she feels she don't want the ranch, there's got to be a reason why. So speak up, Donna. What is it? Why don't you want the ranch? And what prayers are you going to say for me? And why would you pray for me? What prayers are you praying? I'm trying to teach off of you. All right, you don't want to answer me, you can just sit there in the background. Thanks for all the years of your service, Donna, with the ranch. So I appreciate it. So I apologize for the cursing. It doesn't make me, I'm a flawed man before I ever cursed. There was thousands of hours before I was ever grenaded by the state. Imagine it's been a whole year, Donna, since this house. I lost my son. He got shot that day. They kidnapped my daughter. It's been a long road. So I know this is not the ministry it once was, and I do apologize for that. So I know that bothers you, but I'm okay. I'm fine. Don't say any prayers for me, please, unless you're going to pray for Father's will. If you think something's wrong with my mental stability, go ahead and report me to the cops or something. Have them come out here and swat me again. So I don't run from anything. Sister Donna, appreciate your time. But I don't candy coat anything. I live in an apostate nation. And as soon as I can flee, I'm actually seeking. I've been looking for refugee status outside the United States as soon as I possibly can. So thanks, Donna. You can stay if you'd like. Thanks for your honesty. I don't know why you won't answer my questions, but that's okay. You don't have to. You can sit there in the background and be silent if you like. But cool. So, all right. Thanks, brothers, sisters. I can't change what's happened in my life. I've done everything that I could do to help. I have the right in this country, in America, under self-defense, the Fourth Amendment of affirmative defense, that gives me the right to protect my son from legal prosecution. They try to legally prosecute my son. I just stepped in as his dad and tried to help him out, and they ended up swatting my house. That was a year ago. Okay. And imagine a case file not being opened up in a whole year. So I'm wearing down a little bit, obviously, and it's been, a long couple. The cops knocked down my, the totem down at the end of the driveway. That's what they call it, totem's pegging, but it's full of markers. People come out here from a long drive. Their GPS tells them go the wrong way. So I got a sign which way it tells them. And 99%, 98% was the cops. The distance was too far away from the tire to where it hit. It's got to have some big bull push bar on it. The tread pattern was too wide. And so I'm constantly being targeted and harassed and assaulted. And, I suffered a stroke and was bleeding on the live stream out of the top of my head from the concussion, and still probably have concussion to this day somehow. I don't know, a year later, but I've had the effects of it because I get pressure that comes and goes and it pushes behind my eye. And I'm not going to go to the doctors in the United States of America. I don't trust these doctors at all. I need to get out of the United States. Father is not happy, hence why I'm here. The Father is not happy, hence why I'm here. I'm led by the Holy Spirit, but you're free to ignore me and the Father. Well, I'm not ignoring the Father. If you think, Donna, the Father's led you to, don't be upset. Why are you upset? I don't know what you're upset at. Hold on, wait a second here. The Father is not happy, hence that's why I'm here. Are you saying the Father's not happy and that's why he sent you here, because he's not happy with me, and you're here because the Father sent you to tell me that he's not happy? And is that what you're referring to, Donna? I'm not sure if that's what you're saying, but that's okay. So I'm not ignoring the Father. I don't know what you're talking about. So the only thing I'm ignoring on the Father is my cursing. Other than that, I have no regrets, zero, none. Other than that, I'm not a perfect person, but I think that's what your issue is, and that's fine. I'm totally okay with that. I'm trying. I've been concussed, and I'm going to continue here. You don't live in America. You don't have the rights. You guys already gave away your gun rights. You in America are not the same people as Australia. You guys have a whole different mentality over there. You guys have a whole different lifestyle. You were treated completely different during the COVID because you gave up your guns. And that's why you got treated. So I have to defend this country the best that I can. So I do apologize. I know it bothers you a lot. Other than that, I don't know what bothers you. Can't speak up about it. Yeah, just please be silent and learn, or you don't have to come back. Go over to Grace and Truth. You'll enjoy it over there. Don't come back here ever again. That's fine. I don't need you here, Donna. I remember I'm not here to gain people's, Father wills all these things. So I don't need, that's not throwing you out of here, but you can still go hang out at Grace and Truth. You'll love it over there. So, I don't want to lose you, but I don't want you to stay here. If you think that there's an issue, with me, then speak up. You're kind of speaking in circles and around corners with bushes. And he said, don't hide that light in a bushel in a basket. So speak up, or forever hold whatever you got here. Take it over there to Grace and Truth. I don't have anything derogatory to say. I think you're an amazing person, but Father's issues with me are what? My cursing? Speak up. Come on. I'm all good, but it's just sad and seeing you get furious with yourself. Donna, I have done everything I could do. I don't need to do one more thing in this life. Father has already blessed me with, a lifestyle that many did not get to have the time to just study with the Word. It's on my heart. I don't have to pick the book. I'm still studying, right? But I don't have to pick the book up. The word nasty means to be stupid. Shut up, Lex, and get the hell out of here. Leave. You don't know anything about Donna and I. Get out of here. Go, child. Yep, leave. Leave, Lex. Leave. This is a moderator that I had on my channel for years, so you need to shut the fuck up and go. Yeah, this is what she has with me. The problem is that I curse, because I didn't have any cursing for thousands of hours until I was SWAT raided and grenaded and concussed. Literally suffered a stroke and have been bled on live streams. My chest has been fried by tear gas. So I don't want to hear it, Lex. You don't know anything. Please be quiet. So I'm having a conversation with Sister Donna. She's been a moderator. She didn't have any issues with me until I started cursing. I know that. It bothers me. I don't like it, but I have to stand for this corporation against it. And I have a constitutional right. So that's what I do. If you don't like it, it's too bad. People think I'm Ted Kaczynski because you're an idiot. Yes, you don't know when a man stands for the constitutional right of the people, you think I'm crazy. They thought Noah was crazy, and then it rained. Okay, they're a unicorn on the other side of the door. Don't let it hit you where the good Lord split you. So I appreciate it, Donna. I don't have anything else I could say. I know what it is. You don't like my cursing. I apologize. And I have nothing wrong with I'm not unhappy with myself. As a matter of fact, I've done everything I can do for life. I just want to go on the road now. I'm very blessed to have had to do everything I do to just still be standing here. So I 100% disagree with what you're saying. I don't think you're here because Father wants you here to tell me some message that something's wrong with me and I'm not okay and I'm upset with myself. I'm hard on myself. I've been that way since I was a child. Nothing's changed. The only thing is the cursing. It's been a year and they've not opened the case. That's a little frustrating, but I have no vengeance, seek no vengeance toward man, no woman, no anybody. I don't care that SWAT grenade. That's attempted murder to hit me in the face with a grenade. I'm not filed any lawsuit. Instead, I paid off the ministry. I didn't think about myself. I was thinking about others. I do the same thing every time. Now, instead of getting the money for a lawsuit, here I am trying to buy another piece for the ministry. So I don't think anything's wrong with me. I think I'm totally fine other than this filthy, filthy, disgusting mouth of mine. Other than that, nothing. I have issues. I know. I don't have friends and have family. I have no family. I don't have any friends like that, from past, and I don't have a relationship or a wife but I have this, I have the ministry, I have beautiful animals, I have a homestead, I have this, here, but I'm not lacking. I've done more than Father could ever have. I thought that this body could even fulfill. I'm in shape and I can still outwork a 20-year-old man and make him look like, they're reaching for their Gatorade and their energy drinks. And I drink water over here and work in circles around these wet behind the ears young men. They don't want to stand up and say anything, World of Warcraft all day and Call of Duty. And I'm not saying all of them, but, lost in space. They're fighting age men. They're going to get drafted as well as the women. So I don't know what your issue is to me. I thank you for your time. I know what it is. You don't like the foul mouth. I apologize. Go see Brother Jim Brown. He doesn't curse at all. And when this state police, you know, it gets involved here soon, I'm sure it's going to happen. They drop these charges. There will be no more cursing come out of this ministry. We'll go back to the thousands of hours that there was not one single curse word. So my apologies. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Appreciate your honesty. Don't beat around the bush when you talk to me next time. Come straight forward, just like I am with you, and you won't have no issues. So those who say shalom, sudden destruction, don't say peace. So peace is antichrist. Let's go back to the teaching. We'll move on. Thank you again, Sister Donna, for coming in. And it is what it is. I can't worry about what I can't change. All I can do is try to hope that, that Father writes them to open up the evidence after 1 year of swatting my house. And just look at it. Imagine being my son. I'm just protecting my son. He's now on the run, and I did this to protect him from his right of illegal prosecution. I have affirmative defense, and 1 year later, imagine your son being gone. I think he might be, like I said, being held at gunpoint right now, or literally being held against his will by a threat of a gun. And I called so maybe that's what's wrong with me, huh? Imagine your son knowing he could be dead, and knowing where he's at, but they won't even go do anything. They won't even do a health and welfare check. So maybe that's what's wrong with me. It's been a year since my son was going to come build a house, finally, after all these years, to come live with me. And he's the only person I ever would talk to for any length of time at all. That's why you get stuck with me, guys, because I would talk with him for hours about the word and other things. And now I don't have anybody in my life. Oh, good. Some people are just like, yes, this guy is nobody. They just love it. So that's how it goes, man. And Father created that situation he wrote all things. And I know I have self-will, but I'm trying to do the will of the Father here. So I know he wills me not to curse, and I do apologize for that, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I won't keep my word, but I normally do. I don't, when I turn something off, I can turn things off and on like a light switch, but I'm not ready for that, and I'm trying, but yeah, I appreciate it. Like I said, it doesn't make me perfect, but I don't think it makes me so bad of a man that I need to be thrown into the abyss or something. But that's not for me to decide. I can't condemn myself. I pray for Father's will above all, and I've lost so many things in my life that were closest to me. So it is what it is. I thank you, Donna. I'm used to losing the things that are most special to me. So Father takes that's the most meaningful from me. So he did. I don't have anything but this ministry now. And I don't think I'll ever see my son again. And that's the way it is. I have to deal with that. I already got to be with him more than I ever got to be with my dad. I only got to be with my dad for 8 years. And he got to be with me for 25. So that's what's bothering me. I'm a hurting man, but I'm okay. I don't seek any vengeance. I'm dying inside, man. My son is on the run, and I called the police, and they should go check on him, and they won't do anything. My daughter's missing. They did shoot Elijah. They did kidnap Adriana. So imagine being me in my skin right now, and I'm not getting civil attorneys and I'm paying off the land. It's $47,000 to pay off the ministry. Instead of helping myself, I help the ministry. And now I just purchase more land for the ministry instead of going to get a civil lawsuit attorney. So there's nothing wrong with me. I think what's wrong with me is that you don't know me, and that's fine. A lot of people, I was talking to Kevin all along. I know who me as a person, but that's not what you think of me. You have a whole different opinion of me. Some people think I'm crazy. Some people think I'm smart. Some people think, I, my own self, do not think of how I think of myself is not the way anybody thinks of me. So that's okay, Donna. I'm sure that we have a difference of opinion on who we think we are and who I think you are. And that's okay. You don't have to like me. I'm not here to be nice, and be nice means to be stupid. So I'm not going to beat around the bush, and I'm going to bring it straight with every single time. And I don't have time to waste. I'm not saying you wasted my time at all. So, but people normally don't agree with me, and I'm totally okay with that. So I wish you'd spoke up, not just beat around the bush and said what's on your mind instead of like putting it on Father like you did. But much agape, as you said, if you want to play Father's role and come in and, Father, I'm here because Father, okay, Father, what? Open up your mouth next time if you want to have a conversation with me. I need somebody to be real. Remember screaming at the police I need a conversation, guys, and no conversation a year later. So that might drive most men insane in a padded room. But I think I'm doing okay. I think the old noggin up there is working just properly. So I appreciate your time, though. Much agape. Good stuff. Good stuff. So what I would hope, like I said, is that people that I'm looking to be around are people that are honest with me and won't tell me 99 lies and one truth, and then 99 truths and one lie. They'll just tell me 100%. They'll bring it straight. They won't beat around the bush. I'm not that guy. I don't hide the light in the basket. That's what people don't like about me. I walk in a room, I mean, you have to open up my mouth and people are pissed at me, guys. So I'm used to it. It's not anything that I haven't heard, over. I had to hear my son tell me over and over throughout time, why is that guy looking at you like that, Dad? Do you know that guy? What is it, and very uncomfortable, and he can sense it. And I'm just in his, I ain't even opened up my mouth. So I know when I open my mouth, I piss people off. But don't worry, I don't even have to open my mouth and I piss people off, brothers, sisters. It's just the way I rub most people the wrong way. That's why I live alone. That's why I do what I do. So I appreciate, I appreciate people who are straightforward with me, and that's how I am. I don't like to candy coat things, and like I said, that's the way Father made me. He said, do not partake in unfruitful work of darkness, rebuke them. So light is what we put on them. So it's what I do. I have darkness within myself. I try to rebuke myself all the time. You can see that. I struggle with my own, issues. So, but I'm continuing to serve Father. This is what he wants me to do. You have never met anyone more honest than me, but you don't know me, but I've had 2 years to get to know you. Okay, but 2 years to get to know me. I don't think you know me at all, Donna, because I just said speak up and you're still not speaking up. So you had a chance to tell me what your issue is and you didn't say it. So you're still doing the same thing. You're exactly right. I don't know you, Donna. I don't know you at all, because I thought the person that I'd spoken with in the past would speak up when I said speak up about the issue that you have with me. So you don't have any more issues. Go see Grace and Truth Ministries, Donna. Much agape and phileo. Nothing's changed in here but the weather. That's right. No, Donna. Nothing's changed. I'm still the same Tracy I was years ago. Now it's been a year, but I'm an upfront person. I don't hide behind bushes. I'm going to speak up. Okay. So no ill feelings towards you. I hope to see you in the live streams over there at Grace and Truth Ministries. I don't speak up in there in the live stream because it distracts my learning from Brother Jim. But don't go away from the fold, Donna. You're still part of the fold. You don't have, remember, I'm just the top of this. You're still welcome to come in here and speak, and I won't say anything else to you. You're still part of this. You don't have to leave. Okay. That's not, I need people to communicate with. You're not doing anything to me different than right now than what the state of Oregon did to me. Seriously, Donna, you're doing the same damn thing to me. I asked for communication. You can't straight up tell me what the problem is. You're doing the same thing that's been done to me for the last year. So it's Father doing it to me. So I have no ill will towards you, Donna. You're doing the same thing, Donna. See, I'm straight up. I don't play, Donna. You don't know me, apparently. You haven't not seen, have you, Donna? I'm straight up. Oh, maybe I am. Did you learn that about me? You should just be straight up with me. And that's what I was pleading with the cops, but you won't. Here it is a year later, and they haven't even opened up the case file. You still won't hear the same thing. So don't talk anymore, Donna, please, unless you actually want to speak up about the problems that you have with this ministry. Otherwise, you can leave, or you can stay here. And please, I'd like you to stop now. Okay, you're actually starting to do the same thing that they did to me. You're not communicating with me. I'm pleading. I'd already been hit in the face with a grenade. I come back in and it's a whole year later. And imagine I still not had no communication. So that's exactly what you're doing to me right now. Much agape. Okay, so I'm done speaking on it. I have nothing else to say. Much agape, Don. I have no ill will feelings towards you, but you just did to me with the same thing that I had done to me. It's God doing it, so I'm not worried about what you did. You didn't do it. God made you do it. Hallelujah. Thank you for the difficult times, Father. Thank you for the tribulation. Thank you for the suffering. Thank you for the loss. Thank you for the gain. It's all part of his plan, brothers and sisters. So I'm not concerned. Again, if you want to speak with me, this is why I don't have anybody in my life, brothers and sisters. Nobody wants to be straight up anymore. Everybody wants to beat around the bush and tiptoe in the tulips, if you will. I come straight. I bring it hard, straight, fast, and forward. I don't don't swing like this. I come straight every single time. See, I'll give you what my game is. I don't have no doubts of what it is. I bring it straight and forth. Hados is the way. Okay. So I appreciate it. And Donna's from Australia. She's been a long time follower, and she doesn't have to go anywhere. We can disagree on all these things. That doesn't make her my enemy. You know what I'm saying? So Donna's still part of the fold. She can still go over to Grace and Truth Ministries. And she can still stay here. I just don't want to have the conversation anymore because I don't like talking to people and then they don't respond back with the questions that I answer. You know, I tried to place hundreds of phone calls to Michael Taylor, the state of Oregon, the sheriff's office, the Department of Justice at a federal level. Am I stinking attorney and nobody wants to communicate with me? Hell, I've been SWAT raided a year ago and nothing's been done in it. Not one single nothing. And that's just basically what you witnessed Donna do to me. Set at an issue, but won't open up the mouth to explain it, hiding it behind a basket like Father tells us not to do, but then telling me that she's here in the name of Father and she's the most honest person that I've ever met in my life. I don't know Donna, so I don't know her that well to know that that could ever be true, but I know that for certain that I asked her a question, she didn't answer it. And this is a problem that I have with most people. It's not the problem, it's that there's no communication. So same thing. Go watch the SWAT raid. You could probably witness what just happened in here and then watch the SWAT raid and tell me if it's not exactly the same dose. Beat around the bush, hide it, don't give me the answer. Wait, it's been a year since they SWAT raided in my house. Imagine your son being possibly dead or being held at gunpoint. That might make you a little bit on edge. So I do apologize. I think Donna's problem with me was the cursing. Other than that, I don't see any problems. Why should I have a problem with me? I don't have any problems with myself other than the cursing that I've done. I've been very successful since I've got out of this situation or put in this situation in jail. I paid this ministry off $47,000. The property over there was paid off. There's another 5 acres that was paid. Nobody gave me a dime. Donna has donated though. Okay. I want to let you know to this ministry. She's probably donated more money to this ministry than any other person. So, you know, but I told her it didn't give me favor or her favor or anybody. A tithe is a tithe, okay? It goes towards the ministries, what it was used for. And so, you know, as again, it's a loss that she's losing the rent. She doesn't want it anymore, doesn't want to be a part of the ministry, and then won't even answer my damn question. Come straight with me. That's the issue that I have. Or take what I say and turn it around on me. That's what most people do. She didn't do that. But, you know, it's kind of it's a sad day here at High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries because she followed all the way over from the TikTok channel, which not many did, came over. So she's not gone. I'm just not going to be, you know, beat around the bush. I don't like that. And I come forward and I call it every time, and I'll do it every time to every person who's ever done it to me. So if you don't want to speak forward with me, don't speak to me. Don't speak to me at all. You don't have to say anything. But if you're going to come to me, speak straight with me. I can't even get the state of Oregon to talk to me. I can't get the Department of Justice. I have called the federal government over and over and over again about the corruption in this police department out here. Not one single call. Even in my case, not one single call. You are nothing but a normal. You don't deserve the breath, the same air that I and Hulk Hogan do. Listen, Ultimate Warrior, don't go there. Oh, yeah, Randy snap into a Slim Jim. Kool-Aid man, remember? Drink your Kool-Aid. He's the first one who said that. You ain't never been to no sports arena. You don't know wrestling, so don't come in here with the name Macho Man Savage. Oh, wait, Ultimate Warrior talking wrestling, WWE. No, WWF. I know wrestling better than you. Oh, I'm better than you. No. Don't come in here and play games, try to throw me into some battle royal with you, okay? I know wrestling. Ultimate Warrior. Trouble. No, they won't. I've called the Department of Justice at federal level here in Oregon, Kate Brown's office, Tina Kotek's office. I don't get any response. So, see, that's all that happened here tonight is just failure to communicate. So, that's what most people do. They're afraid of me, I guess. I don't know what it is about people about me, but I don't care unless you can't talk to me straight, you know. Just come forward with me. I ask you a question, answer it. You know, I'll do the same. Ask me a question. If I can answer it, I'll give it my best of my ability if I'm going to answer it. I don't have to answer, you know what I'm saying? every question. But this is my moderator. She's been here longer than, even Lady in Red, So, and she's, so it's a big, hit when somebody says they don't want the wrench anymore. And then when you ask them why, they don't want to talk to you. And then they said they come in the name of the Father you're using Father, like Father's here to tell me that okay, tell me what Father said. Then nothing. Just some beat around the bush, man. I just don't like that. People do that to me over and over, or take what I say and turn it backwards on me. So you want to have a conversation with me, speak up. Don't beat around the bush. Talk, communication. I couldn't even get this. We're not going anywhere. Well, I'm not going anywhere either. Talk to me, guys. So that's what she doesn't like, that I'm passionate, and she couldn't tell, I think, now the difference between passion and anger. She thinks something's wrong with it. I'm upset, and I'm not upset. It's a little tough to listen to nothing. It's like talking to the walls, guys. So we'll do this for conversation's sake. We'll show you why Donna act just like the state of Oregon and the police here, and wouldn't communicate with me. So let's go over and see what the old state of Oregon. Why are you acting the way you are, Tracy? Well, let's take a look at what happens when you try to protect your son in the state of Oregon. Oh, what's going on? Let's our volume. We went the wrong way.
You guys, the state police are at my house. The state police are at my house. They're executing a warrant. The state police are at my house. They're executing a warrant. You guys.
Now, I've called hundreds of times. No calls. No communication like Donna.
It's right here up on the board that I was live streaming that they're executing a warrant now. Elijah, are you okay? Elijah, are you okay? Elijah, are you okay? Elijah, are you okay?
Not reaching for gun. Not threatening anybody.
Elijah, are you okay? Elijah.
Oh, yeah, I deserved that, didn't I?
They just do it. They're executing the warrant.
Grenade me in the face. Thanks, state of Oregon. That's attempted murder.
You guys, what do I do? I've been live streaming every day. What about my live stream?
What about my live stream, Donna?
You guys, I'm live streaming this. This is live. I'm live streaming. If you're not going anywhere, then talk.
Let's have a conversation.
Conversation with me. Conversate with me, then. Have a conversation. Have a conversation. Talk to me. I have been live streaming for hundreds of hours. Have you talked to that state? Have you talked to anybody about Elijah's hours in Lane County? In Lane County, I've been streaming for hundreds of hours. You guys, I'm streaming live now. They're executing this warrant, okay? They executed this warrant, and I've been live streaming all this information on this board. You guys have been witness. I have witness. I've been live streaming for hundreds of hours. I have all the evidence here. Does somebody want to talk? How come the state of Oregon has not called my phone?
No communication.
Oregon has not called my phone. I got no call from the state of Oregon. I got no call from Lane County. Nobody has called me. You guys, I've asked, I've requested a call. I've requested how many times? How many times have I requested? I've requested a call. I've requested hundreds of times. No communication from you guys. Nothing from the state police. Nothing from Lake County. This is all being recorded. Just so you know. I've live streamed for hundreds of hours now, trying to get this state of Oregon to call me, trying to get somebody from the state police to call me, trying to get somebody from the feds to call me. Nobody wants to call me. No communication. You can't just serve a warrant. Where's your warrant for what? What's your warrant for? What's your warrant for? This is crazy, guys. I gotta get dressed. I gotta put some kind of clothes on. I've had no communication. You've never called my phone. I've requested. I've made hundreds of phone calls. I've made hundreds of phone calls. Concerning what? What's your warrant for? What is your warrant for? State of Oregon. What is the warrant for? What is your warrant? Why are you on my property? I've requested the state police. I've requested Lane County. Lane County, it's all on the board, guys. I streamed asking them. They never called me. They were on this board. State police. They drove by my house. They never stopped and even talked to anybody.
Now watch. This is my son. They're going to shoot him. Listen.
We're going peacefully, guys. We're going peacefully. We're going peacefully. What happened to my hours being done? Why are they coming to get me? But he's going peacefully. My son is going peacefully. You hear him? I'm live streaming, guys. Yes, sir. I'm going to.
You hear that? They still shot my son anyways. He has his hands in the air. He's asking them. He's following his directions because he's coming out. You can hear him. He's coming closer towards where I'm at. I can see him. He says, what now? And they shoot him anyways. I called hundreds of hours. So, Donna, you didn't treat me any different if you're still here than the state of Oregon, because it's been a whole year. And guess what? Not a single call has been made after this event. Literally grenaded, attempted murder, excessive force. I was not reaching for a weapon. I never threatened violence to any man. Not one single time did I say I was going to ever shoot or use arms. I was using my First Amendment to defend my son's right because they were trying to wrongfully incriminate him. So imagine that. No, my son is missing. I don't know where my daughter was kidnapped. That day, they took my daughter and put her in jail and arrested her without a warrant. Her name was not listed on this warrant. You'll hear me stop because now I don't know if they laced my son like a zipper and he's laying in blood. And now remember, I've already been grenaded in the face. And I shouldn't be standing there. I shouldn't even have the ability. Well, let's go back to listen. There's a flash. Sounds like I get shot twice. Two times. Okay? So listen to this. Okay, we'll go back and we'll listen again. I want you to hear concussion. They didn't take us. They took me to jail, brothers and sisters, and then they took my daughter without a warrant. That's illegal. You have to show cause in a warrant, probable cause in this country. You're going to cost somebody. You have to show where you're searching and who and where on that warrant, and you have to show probable cause. And they didn't have that. That is called a kidnapping. You don't know what kidnapping is? That is a actual kidnapping. You can't take somebody and remove them from their home without a warrant. Okay? So unless you know the law, or you are you the one who said, I have your son, and now you say, no, you don't. Get the hell out of here, Graham. The only right I have as an American is my First Amendment. So shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of here. You are a fucking swine. Don't talk about my son, you fucking piece of shit. Imagine have your son fucking shot by the state of Oregon, okay? Shot by the state of Oregon, and he's got his fucking hands in the air, brothers and sisters, and then you got to sit there and play it. And he didn't make any noise, did he? Quiet. How the fuck, where did he get hit? Is he laying there in a pool of blood? So keep your fucking mouth shut. You don't know this incident. Go jerk off. You can watch it over and over on the playlist so you can get your rocks off, okay? So go fuck yourself. I can't stand the people like you would even mention my son. Somebody came in here under the name of Werner yesterday, brothers, sisters. Dad, they're coming. Get out now. It's people like you that do this shit that are just the lowest of the low, man. You can't be any low. My son is possibly dead, and you're going to mention you fucking have him, dude. You're a sick individual. You know that? You are very sick. To do what you just did in this stream shows how sick in this nation is. Sick, brothers and sisters. I have the right of affirmative defense to protect my son. I have all the evidence. So nobody strangled. John, are you still in here? Go to the fucking live stream yesterday, you fucking idiot. How long have I known Mike Miller before that date, huh? Shut the fuck up, too. We did a whole live stream about it yesterday, John. Why don't you go watch this, John? Next year, John, right? Last, not next year, yesterday, just yesterday, we went over this. Thousands of hours, too. Yeah, talking and streaming about the same thing throughout these streams. You can go through lots of streams, me mention it. So we're not running from anything, John. Why were the charges expunged? Because it was all a bunch of bullshit, John. A guy that said I didn't know him for 5 fucking years. Oh, how come I had bought vehicles from that man and put them into my name? Oh, that's why all of it got taken care of, huh? You weren't standing up against Hillary Clinton. Were you selling yellow pancake uranium to fucking Vladimir Putin, huh? Through Vale 1 and Vale, Uranium 1, Vale, Oregon? No. You don't know anything about the case, so keep your mouth shut. All charges were dropped, right? Dismissed, gone, expunged. Idiot. Grow up, child. Talk about my past unless you know what you're talking about. I don't run from anything. No, notice I got hit in the face. Did I run? I'm still pleading for my son. If you watch further, you want to go jerk off and entertain yourself. Now I'm worried about they're going to fucking hurt my dogs and my daughter. You know, I got a daughter here that's caught in the middle of it. You don't know anything about it, so keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth quiet. Putin needs uranium for his glass collection. You guys are swine, man. You guys absolutely the filth of this country. This is what, freedom does to people, brothers, sisters, right? They have the right. That's all I have left too. So we'll move on. You want to see a man get hit in the face? I don't think any one of you in this room, and I'm not a badass, I'm a veteran, could take a grenade to the face and still be talking today. You would have been taken to the hospital. You'd have fallen on your face, just like, hey, I've been hit with a grenade, flash concussion grenade with tear gas before. Yeah, earplugs in my ear, and it drop you to your damn knees, okay? So if you're going to make a derogatory comment, okay, I don't want to hear it. You don't know this case. You have been SWAT raided by the state of Oregon. You're not standing there talking like I am. You'd be a little bitch and sit there and do what the fuck you're told. I've been standing against this corporation for 10 plus years blogging about how this is an apostate nation and your rights have been eroded, and I'm going to continue because I took a note to the Constitution. It doesn't matter. So we're going to continue to watch. Let's see if you think you could do this, because this is what is called excessive force. You don't throw a grenade at somebody's face. That's meant to be like a tear gas canister, that's meant to like the 5 tear gas canisters that were launched through, tear gas canisters, 5. One of these, you'd be running out the damn door. 5 of them, brothers, sisters, they threw into this house after hitting me in the face with a grenade. So this is what they'll do to an American veteran. At the time, remember, those charges were expunged. So I don't have a criminal record, no record. All I'm doing is protecting my son. I have the right of affirmative defense to protect him. If you know what affirmative defense, it gives me the right to protect him under the 4th Amendment from illegal prosecution. I have all the evidence. Not that you were innocent until proven guilty. So if you want to say something derogatory, guess what? I just want to address you, trolls. You just have to look at the thing, go in there, and I'm all done addressing you guys because you didn't do anything during the COVID. You were the silent majority. The reason my house is being SWAT raided is because I stood up against I stood up against the elected sheriff to try to protect the businesses in this town. So I have quite the history with the law enforcement officials in this town. I have 6 felony charges that I'm facing for trying to help my son right now. Excessive force is at the minimum. You throw a tear gas canister in a room to fill the tear gas, smoke, fill the room, concussion into the room to concuss the whole room with flash and concuss. will bring you to your knees with hearing protection, and your eyes start seeing near white dots. Some people even lose full vision. They cannot see at all. I don't know how I would continue and then continue to eat 5 tear gas canisters. Maybe it has a little something to do with that. I'm a veteran, and I've been tear gassed, and I've been flashed, and been concussion grenade. I'm a SWAT certified special reaction team, special weapons and tactics. I did this, a law enforcement. I am a Army 95 Bravo veteran in the military, police in the Army. I have this certification. That doesn't make me better than you. I 100% with all of my faith believe that Father is the only thing that kept me standing that day. So anyways, we're not going to answer any questions unless you're talking about this. You can sit there and troll this channel. Brothers, sisters, I can show you evidence right now that the law enforcement was monitoring the channel before the SWAT raid. They monitoring this channel right now. Right now, the government is watching this channel. I have shown on the evidence of discovery in their evidence against me, interfering with a peace officer. I'm facing 2 police felony charges for interfering with the police, hindering the police, hindering prosecution, 2 felonies. That's quite a time in jail, especially against cops. Harassing the police, and menacing the police. See, my charges aren't against you, okay? My charges aren't against you. Do you understand? My charges aren't against you, right? My charges are the public. I'm not a menace to society. I'm a menace to the fucking police, okay? Because I stand against illegal prosecution. I took an oath to the Constitution. They're not defending this constitutional republic anymore. This is a corporation, and this is commerce. All crimes are crimes of commerce. It's not even the original Title 18 statute adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate. I know my rights. I'm not even talking about that in this case. I am not reaching for a weapon. I am not threatening anybody. That is attempted murder. And you will probably see this case one day on news. It will break. They got to open the case up, brothers and sisters. After Imagine Your House SWAT raid, and you have all evidence to clear my son's innocence. They said he didn't do a community service 4 years after he had done it. And he couldn't even leave the county that I live in until he had completed it. So it's an impossibility that he didn't do it. They were just messing with me because I've been holding protests against the federal government. I don't think there's any other city or town, or this is a township, that held a protest against the national emergency as being a fake national emergency. And that Kate Brown, flush it down, Kate Brown. I held protests about Kate Brown. You can see this is still on the community page out here, brothers and sisters. We held a prayer. We had a city council member, and we held an elected sheriff protest against the elected sheriff because he would not come out and protect our small businesses here in Silver Lake and Christmas Valley, Oregon. We were asking him to stand with Dorothy, Kathy. All these businesses out here could not afford to shut their businesses down. You understand? Rookie mistake. Don't mess with the government. That's not a rookie mistake, you fucking idiot. Fuck the government. The government's a piece of shit, fucking genociding, and all they want to do is kill people and lock them in fucking prison, you bootlicker. Get out of here, bluff. Yeah, I'm calling your bluff. Is that bluff? I can't tell. My right eye's all fucked up. I got grenaded in the face. So let's look at the grenade. Fuck this government. Fuck the Department of Justice. They're pussies. They're a goddamn alphabet agency that's never once called my fucking phone. Fuck you, child. Fuck your government, too. Pigs. People in government, not just cops, you fucking idiot. People in government, 40% of you that work for this corporation, go fuck yourself. You work for this beast system. Yep, people in government, 40% of this populace works for the government, either federal, state, private contractor. Take it deep. Get the fuck out of here. I don't sup with vipers. Yeah, I don't want your ass in here. I'm not a pig licker. People in government, once again, not just clown cops. I used to be one. I'm not just talking about cops. I'm talking about you people who work for this corporation that tax the living shit out of the people, and you got a big paying job. There were more government jobs created last year than any other jobs. You don't like it, it's too bad. I don't care. The only right that I have left in this country, because they have stripped me of my second, violated my fourth, Fifth, Miranda rights, adequate counsel, violated that. I didn't even get an attorney. I haven't had an attorney in almost a year. They just appointed me attorney. That's a Sixth Amendment violation. If you're going to charge me under Title 18, criminally try me, put me in trial under my Sixth Amendment, fair and speedy trial, right to go. You don't know your rights, so you don't speak up for your rights. You've lost your rights because you do not apply. I mean, I did, but guess what? I still have the right to speak up. And until they kill me or take the last breath, they tried to kill me. They brought 30 men out here, bragged at those restaurants that I defended during the COVID because they weren't here during the COVID, saying they were going to kill me. The locals didn't know. This is the biggest SWAT raid they've ever seen out here. Never seen anything so big. I've had people since then go, I still cannot believe what they did to you, man. That is incredible. All those armored vehicles, all those guys, and you had all the proof, and they just don't want to listen to you. So if you don't know the case, you don't speak up about it, okay? The evidence speaks for itself. As soon as they open up and all the worms fall out, that would drop this case right immediately, irregardless of the charges. My charges are for protecting my son, interfering and not letting them arrest my son. I'm not going to let you arrest him if I have the evidence. And I'd already called for hundreds of hours. Kate Brown, all these special investigation office, Department of Justice level at the state, Department of Justice at a federal level. Oh, yeah, I called all these. I have this all documented, but so I'm a prior pig, law enforcement. I know how to document evidence. Why do you think I live stream for 250 hours? That's all called discovery. They're going to take me to a trial under the right of discovery and suppression of evidence. I have no limit to how many witness or evidence I can bring to clear my, I know this. I used to be a pig. I spent more time in front of a cop pig than any one of you. I guarantee you. I went to court for my son to get him out from his bad situation that he was living in for 8 years in custody battles for my son's well-being. So I'm not going to stop protecting you or anybody who's put in danger, brothers and sisters. My son was not in a good situation, so I helped him out, right? No. This is what a dad does. I didn't do it to help myself. I was trying to help my son. My son needs the help right now because nobody else cares about him. Nobody else cares about my son. There's nobody else helping Elijah Werner. I'm the only man that's helping him. He has nobody else to help him. His attorney didn't do anything but prepare him for a conviction. He never called witness. There were no witnesses at his trial. I was there. I showed up. Elijah didn't even show up. My son didn't even show up. And they said he went missing in September when he was on the phone in court in October. How the hell is that possible? The cops don't even have their story straight on what they did here. They kidnapped my son back in September, brothers and sisters. He didn't show up, they said, in October. They must have when they got him right after that court date. They said he went missing in September. Now, wait a minute. They kidnapped my daughter. They surely took her that day without a warrant, and that's a kidnapping. You have to show cause in a warrant, probable cause signed by a judge. They didn't have that. That's an actual kidnapping, brothers and sisters. So let me tell you something. If they come to your house, irregardless, you are not reaching for a gun, and I never said that I was going to be violent. I said I would protect my son, fight to the death from going to prison using my First Amendment right. My right? Yeah, that's the money right there, not this weapon, right? Yeah. That's what I said. I would fight to the death. YouTube anonymous caller. So you're on here right now, and they're probably going to use you as the YouTube evidence in this federal case. So you might want to keep your mouth shut. You might want to keep your fucking mouth shut, okay? You hear me there? Jack off, Jay. Don't tell me you didn't get hit in the face with a grenade. Okay? So keep your fucking mouth shut. I only have one right left. Congress gave me that right. It wasn't a right that was given to me by no president. Presidents don't make laws. If it wasn't adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate, that means repugnant. We're not supposed to follow it. So why don't you use your Fifth Amendment right and keep your fucking mouth shut? Don't tell me what to do. I'm a veteran. Lead follower or get the fuck out of my way and leading me to shit. You don't know shit from Shinola. You don't like my mouth? Too bad. You didn't get hit with a grenade. Your son didn't get fucking shot at. Your daughter didn't get kidnapped. Your son's still not fucking missing to this day. So don't tell me what to say. Donna had a problem with it, and I don't think Donna's here anymore. So why don't you come straight? You don't like my cursing? Then fucking leave. I only have one right left as an American, and that's my right of speech. I've been stripped. My Fourth Amendment is violated. Let me show you how my Fourth Amendment is violated, and you can't do this. This is going to drop this case. As soon as they open this case, brothers and sisters, the case is over. I'll show you how. Cops come to my house. They come here, they're here less than a minute. You'll notice there's nothing being said by these cops. I can see them out there. I see them out there. They got the whole thing let out. They got their lights. I know they've been coming by my house for months and they're not actually looking at any evidence. So I know they're getting ready to SWAT raid my house. I'm telling them, don't bring the gun, guys. I have the evidence. You're wasting time. I called Elijah's probation office, and here's the probation office saying that he did his hours. You're coming after him because you're coming after me. Stop going after my son. You're not going to arrest him. If you're mad at me, come after me. But stop taking this out on my son. Kevin's been targeted. Gene's been targeted. All the people get targeted that hang around me, brothers and sisters. Absolutely. Absolutely. So here we go. I'm not allowing them to arrest my son because I have all the evidence. I've made hundreds of phone calls for years. I streamed for 256 9 hours live streaming. We have hundreds of people calling the state of Oregon, calling the federal government, calling Lake County, calling Blaine County, telling them this guy's got all the evidence. You're preparing a SWAT raid. Stop. This guy's a veteran. He's got his kid. Yes, but if you'll just go talk to him, he has the evidence. Stop. They wouldn't listen. They will not, because this is about killing me, brothers and sisters. I came out to this little farm town and pointed out that the farmers are receiving illicit things, drugs from the police department sold through some of the family members. And they don't want me talking about that. All these farmers get a free pass out here. All the farmers, they can go 75 miles down the highway and blow down there and get a free pass. They don't get pulled over, or they will, and they get to let go. Their kids get to beat the fuck out of the poor kids in this town and get away with it. Not haze. Yeah, haze. Not bullying. There's a difference between bullying and it's going to be these children. And the teachers just keep their mouths shut up there about it because more hay going out to the Dinsdale barn right there. See, this is the kind of shit that they want people. This is the kind of shit that he gets you shot by sniper rifles and backhoes. Farmers. I was told I was going to be killed more than 10 years ago out here by these farmers, brothers, sisters. I was told if I didn't stand down and shut up, they were going to take care of me. That's what they did. They brought the state of Oregon. See, it was just me in this little teeny tiny town and these farmers going around and around for 10 years as I sit on their chamber of commerce and tell them, you ain't going to hold this town down any longer. You're going to let a man like me come out here and do this, the American dream. Fuck you. I'm a veteran. We're going to place in L.A. Pine. L.A.? Yeah, we need a strip club and a pot dispensary out here, right? You won't allow the pot dispensaries out here? You'll allow them down there? You guys are seen down there at the pot dispensaries. We know your farmers go down there. Oh, you want to restrict the road. You don't want anybody to come out here. Strip club. They freaked out. I'm not advocating strip clubs or pot dispensaries, brothers and sisters. But if you know anything about business, you put those at the edge of town. People like their anonymity. Stop trying to restrict everybody from coming out here. You're not going to restrict anything out here. The oldest clothing on this rock was found right here. This place was cracking off, popping the most. You're not going to tell me they spoke 13 tongues in this valley, you rich elitists. You're not going to control. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to live the American dream. You're not going to tell me I can't live and I got to go do this and buy this and this. Fuck you. I'm going to do this ever I want. I'm a fucking veteran. I'm going to do whatever I want, build whatever. I'm not going to be told anything. I won't have a problem. And you're going to have no problems with if you see my property, but I don't look like these people's property that take advantage of that. But I'm not going to be told how I can live. I don't follow mandates. That's not a law. I don't go on dates with men. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Bull's crap. Nope. I don't go by ordinances. He blotted out the handwriting of ordinances in the book of Colossians 2 and 14. That's for a corporation. I don't follow codes. Criminal codes are not adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate. So I'm not a statute. I'm not a corporation. I don't go by capital letters. My name is capital T, small r, small a, small c, small y, capital W, small e, r, small n, e, r. That's right. Not in all capital letters. I only operate in a private capacity and never in commerce. I'm not a corporation. I don't operate in commerce. I only operate in a private capacity, but you do because you're commerce and I'm not. Criminal is an accounting term. If anybody did budget, you know the word criminal is not, there's no criminal code. It's not criminal statute. Statute has been adjudicated under Title 18 through the House, Congress, and Senate. See, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I took an oath to the Constitution. It's not really that hard to, understand. This was a very special House, Congress, and Senate, not serfdom, not by king's rule. It's not a fucking democracy. Shut the fuck up. We drop democracy bombs on nations. How'd that work out for them? The democratic process was part of the original Constitution, voting, but we all had to go through the process of House, Congress, and Senate. Congress makes the laws, not presidents. That's serfdom. That's literal by king's law. Get the fuck off my land. You can't come here. You got a right to travel. You can't restrict somebody's right to travel, brothers and sisters. That's your Fourth Amendment right. You have the right to be secure in your house, papers, persons, and effects. You have the right to travel. Unabated, warrantless search or seizure. If you've not committed a crime, they cannot stop accost your body. That is called accosting somebody. That's illegal. Unless somebody's committed a crime, can't even ask you for your name. Most states are not stop and frisk unless they can articulate reasonably RAS, brothers and sisters. I used to do this for a living. Reasonable articulate suspicion. And I audit my officials out here when they try to pull me over for not having the proper bullshit. And I ain't never got no fucking tickets. I don't want to hear your bullshit. You people say you're going to get thrown in jail for. I didn't get thrown in jail for my audit. I got thrown in jail for holding a protest against Michael Taylor, the piece of shit fucking sit on his ass elected sheriff that didn't want to protect this community during the COVID, who would not do anything about Tony Carson, a rapist who was running around here in Lake County, Oregon, and not notifying Lily Frank of his location. That's illegal, brothers and sisters. All pedophiles, rapists, and murderers have to notify the parole offices of if they're going to move. And I was spotted one of these guys who started hanging around. I did not know that he was a rapist at first, okay? I knew he was a good news because he was buying my son cigarettes. And you have to be 21 years old to buy cigarettes in the state of Oregon. And I didn't want him hanging around my son because it'd taken me years to get my son out here, like the whole Mike Miller thing, in a trailer so my son could come out here and open up a business with his wife. It took me years to get them to be together to come out here. She out here. I get him a house. They have a place out here, a beautiful little house, and he's away from the house smoking cigarettes because she doesn't want him smoking cigarettes. She don't like it. She don't want to take care of him when he's all cancered up. I supported her. I said, no, dude. She said in the beginning, I remember she didn't want you smoking cigarettes. I don't think she's supposed to tell you what to do. Yeah, but you guys met that way, and too bad, man. And her legitimate is she don't want to take care of your old ass with a stoma. I got her back. Stop fucking hanging around this guy, Elijah. And I gave this guy a hard time. His name's Tony Karsten, brothers and sisters. He's a rapist. He raped a Hispanic woman high on methamphetamines and robbed her in Texas, got her a 25-year sentence and of those years before he was released into this poorest county on a fund, on a contract where, yes, he got paid for the remaining 12 years to be out of the box, out of the rape cage, and they let him out and to this county, and we had to deal with him. And then I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he raped anybody at the time, but I knew he wasn't good news because I found out that, he was buying my son cigarettes, and I started calling him out like, what the fuck are you doing? You're an old man. And my son's 19, man. I just got his wife. This other kid he's hanging around, he's 17. What the fuck are you doing hanging around kids, man? You're an adult, man. Quit buying these kids cigarettes, man. My son's wife doesn't want him smoking, and he's gonna come home smell like fucking cigarettes. You're a prick, dude. Stay away from these. I don't know I don't like you. Get away from my son. And so I didn't know. Well, once I started researching on him, I found out that these houses he was moving to was a drug house out here where some of the cops were delivering through their son some illicit things. So he's in cahoots. I'm like, I've stumbled onto something. So I find out that he's doing these methamphetamines. Well, they start piss testing my son. Piss testing my son. My son didn't get any charges for drugs. Him and that rapist, see, before he ever got in trouble, I told the county about this rapist and said, get this fucking dude away from my son. Once I ran his record and I found out he was a rapist, brothers and sisters, I came unglued. I went down there to Lily Frank's office, probation office. You get this motherfucker away from my son. He is moving within the county. He's a rapist. You're not notified. He's moving, and he's not telling you. He could go to anywhere in this state right now, and you don't know where the fuck he's at. Do your damn job. You're a fucking criminal, lady. Started piss testing my son, targeting my son. They all brothers, sisters. I live out here in the desert. It's way in the middle of nowhere. people come out here, they can make it this desert like they did, Christmas Valley. It's a tropical paradise, 300 days sunshine. It's hot in the summer and cold in the winter. People won't make it through a winter out here. There was some empty trailers. Nobody were occupying these things. They've been unoccupied for years. This guy was a mastermind. He started with little rock collecting, and then it was arrowheads, and then it was into abandoned, houses, and then they had him going in the houses. So he was really good at what he was doing. These kids, one was a minor child, 17 years old, 19, Tyler, Elijah, my son, they were all teenagers, guys. This guy was a 41-year-old rapist manipulating these kids into breaking into open buildings, and he'd get the cash. I found he had a cash out here. And so what they did is they charged once I don't know how they all turned on each other or how it ended up turning out, but I know that my son with these two other kids were living in a little canned ham. I don't know if you know what those are. And they're like, they got a lunchbox to turn into a stove to stay warm out here. They run out of propane. Well, my son had a 2-bedroom house. Remember that house that I got for him? There was a bedroom in the back. One was 17. These were farm kids, guys. These were really respectable kids. I met them, and they were polite, worked hard. I seen them. They weren't those kind of kids. They were young, but they were farm kids, so they were a little more respectable. Them hanging around this rapist guy, I wasn't having it. This guys, I was having an issue with this. Okay, so I had notified the county that this was already going on with this guy. He was moving within the county. He was getting away with doing things like I said. They piss test my son. He didn't have no drugs in him. He never had no meth in him. My son don't touch that shit. He knows that. You don't touch that. So I pointed out to this county, and imagine, so I'm notified the county. Then I find out this guy's a rapist, and I go to them and tell them, get away. Well, he ends up getting in trouble with this guy. They end up charging my son, the other Elijah, Tyler. These kids, they're all kids. This one's a minor child. They all got charges, but the rapist never received any conviction. He never went to jail. They all got convictions. My son actually is the only one out of 5 guys involved in the same breaking into empty trailers, no victims. It's not a robbery like he robbed that woman at gunpoint. They're not armed. They're open buildings. It's a bunch of junk. They were actually kind of just hanging out in the one building. They cooked stuff in there. It hadn't been occupied for years. They're open buildings. They shouldn't be going in the buildings at all. I went out one time with this guy when I filled him out, and he went at this chip field to look for arrowheads. And there's a place it's over kind of in this little sand dune. And the sand dune's just eating this place up. It's just falling in on itself. Okay. So he's over there. We're looking for things. And he goes and he picks up, I don't know, some kind of thing on the ground. I said, put that back down. He's like, oh, I know these people. It's cool. They're not going to be in here. It's just going to get eaten by the desert. I said, listen, this is not your fucking property. Put it down now. And he kind of got a little standoffish with me. I said, dude, I ain't fucking playing with you, dude. Put it back down. If it's not yours, leave it here. I don't care if it gets the dirty. It's in the desert. It's not yours. Leave it there. Don't touch it. So I knew something that I always engage with the chat there, Bluff. Okay, I'm calling your bluff. I'm speaking on this situation, on why this SWAT raid took place, okay? Yeah, I'm protecting my son. Brothers, sisters, he goes to jail for a whole near year. The rapist, no conviction. Never spent a day in jail. All the other kids, no jail sentence. Why? Because they're targeting. At the same time, I'm holding a protest against Michael Taylor, the elected sheriff, Kate Brown. I'd already held protest against this government with Barack Obama exposing his duties with Billary. They're all in on this together. This ain't the first time that I've pointed out corruption. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's what I do. If I see corruption, I point it out. I'm a dog. I'm not saying I'll bite, but I will bark. If a dog sees something bad coming and he don't bark, that's a bad dog. A dog is going to bark. It's what it does. And that's what I do. I ain't saying I'm going to bite, but I will bark very loud, and I'll make sure that people know, hey, the wolf is coming. And that's what all I've done. So in this case, I know this guy's a bad guy. I point it out. I bring it to the parole and probation department. They don't want to do anything about it. Imagine trying to tell the parole and probation department, this guy's a rapist, get him out from hanging around with my son. He turns around and he gets busted with them. What? Yeah. I already let him know, don't let him hang around. My son had already gotten in trouble before, and I don't want him getting in any more trouble. He's doing everything he should be doing. Keep this dude away from my son. He has his wife here. He's been doing fine. Please do something about this guy now. He can't be moving within the community. He's a pedophile. No, he's a rapist. He can rape somebody else and they don't want to do anything about it. So this is why I stood up, brothers, sisters, and then they put my son in jail for a whole year, nearly 10 and a half months, 11 months. Nobody else went to jail. Why? Well, my son, after getting him an attorney, what was $37,000 to secure him an attorney to finally get him out of jail, he took a deal, which it is what it is. They didn't take it to trial. He took a deal. It is what it is. He got out of jail. They gave him 3 years probation, 180 hours of community service, and wanted him to pay $47,000 in restitution between the 5 guys, which is crazy, guys. Some of the stuff these people did, the weapons they had in the closet for like a week. They went and got all their guns reblued and stuff, guys. These people, what they did to they let them scam there were some, my son had an outside barn, and that's where they'd found all this stuff inside this barn. And then they had that little canned ham, and they found some weapons over there. My son's fingerprints were never found on any of the weapons. He was never actually seen at any of the crimes. I actually gave the state of Oregon a cigarette butt, because I said, remember, he was buying my son cigarettes. I said, they smoke cigarettes and passing around like they're hippies with like a joint. So if he was at the scene of those crimes, you put him in jail. He's already there, already taught him, you do the crime, do the time. I'm not trying to get my son any special thing. If they did it, I want them all to go to jail. Why the fuck is this guy not in jail? Why is the rapist not in jail? Why is all the other Elijah not in jail? Why is my son the only one sitting in jail? I want him the fuck out of there. Here's the evidence. If he was there at any of this scene of these crimes, you're going to find his DNA, because they all passing around like a hippie. Brothers, sisters, they found a cigarette butt. It's in the discovery, and it didn't have my son's evidence on it. No DNA on it. No DNA on that cigarette. Nope, they didn't find his DNA. So it doesn't matter. I don't care if he did every single thing and he was the ringleader and it wasn't the fucking rapist. And I don't care. He did a whole year in jail. And when he got out, he did community service. He would do it 3 days a week sometimes, where he would go to the dunes multiple times. He went to the fire station. He even got hazed for wearing pants that he thought he was going to wear out to the dunes and got paint on them. It took him a couple of days to paint the fire station. I think 3 days he was out there. I remember he was bitching at me that Lily was working him over hard, and they were raking the same exact spot at the fairgrounds. I said, Elijah, shut up. She's pissed at you because I went after her for being a criminal, for piss testing you and letting that rapist run around. She's trying to get you out of this county. Well, Dad, nobody else is having to work. There's some other guys, but they're not working as much as me. So they're not being, she's overworked. I see she's trying to get you out of here, Elijah. She thinks if she can get you out of here, she'll shut me up, Elijah. I ain't going to shut up when you leave, just so you know. But I need you to shut up and do what you're told, because she's trying to get you out of here. All right, Dad. Well, this sucks, man. I'm trying to get out of here. I got things to do to move. Remember, I'm going over there. Well, Elijah, you're just going to have to do what you're told, man. Do what you're told. There's witness, guys. He did it with Tom, Don, Morgan. Those are all guys, males. I mean, he's got Facebook stuff with him where they're drawing and pictures and communicate. There's plenty of evidence that he did this 180 hours. If he just did it 1 day a week, and 5.5 months after he got out, he left because he completed all the terms of this release. I called Lake County to make sure that his hours were documented. I called his attorney prior to that, John Caligo, to try to make sure, because John Caligo is in Lane County where his mom lives, his brother lives, his uncles, his aunts, his papa. He didn't want to live here. I'm the only one here. So he was leaving. It wasn't like what he was doing was odd. That's where his family is. He wanted to go there. He didn't want to be here just with Dad. He likes those little fast cars. I didn't want to go over there because I thought he'd get tickets. And he did everything he was supposed to do. So 5.5 months, I call probation, Lake County probation, saying, I'm trying to document this. I know I'm just his dad, and you can't give me his whole case file, But if you take a look and, I need to make sure, the attorney said we need to document these hours. He needs to get it in writing. Oh, he has all his hours completed, Tracy. He doesn't need to, because they know who I am already. And then I said, this attorney, we need to document this. He needs to be able to come down there and get it. She said, I'm going to go look. She put me on hold. She looked on the computer. She came back and said, yep, he doesn't have any hours. I said, he's going to be able to document that. That would have prevented a SWAT raid right there. Just that one phone call. If the state of Oregon would have called the probation and parole office in Lake County, Oregon, they would have seen that I called his attorney. Then I called Lake County probation, and they told me, yes, his hours have been completed because he had worked more than 180 hours. I think he did more than 180 hours. He did multiple days at the dunes, multiple days at the fairgrounds, multiple days at the fire station. Even if he got in the little van that they go out and do work crew, it kind of like prison because they don't have community service. They get in a van, it's got a trailer, they go out and cut wood and bring it out to the sinks, or they'll go out to the dunes or clean trash. They get a whole day's worth of work. One day a week would have been 160 hours. So there's no way he did not do this community service. That was the terms of his release. If he would have went into Lane County on his action plan, it would have said, hey, you didn't do these hours. You need to complete these hours, starting pay $100. You had remaining hours. They never said that. This went 4 years went by, brothers and sisters. I even called at 17 months my son's attorney before I called my son and said, hey, son, you can get off probation early since you haven't gotten in any trouble. Oh, that's good, son. I'm on. I was worried about your little fast cars. You got in no trouble. You did all your community service back here. If you call Ryan, since you have completed all your terms of release to get out of the county, you did that. Find out what your restitution is, Elijah. If you pay off your restitution, you can get off of probation right now at 18 months. So get a hold of Ryan Solberg and see if he will allow you to get off. You're going to have to request the courts. I'm going to call John Caligo. Now, Elijah, you got to have to chip in, man. I bought that 5-acre parcel, brothers and sisters. I had spent a lot of money to buy the thing to build the UFO. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. So I told him, I said, hey, listen, Elijah, I don't have, $47,000, and there was 5 of you guys. So I need to call John and figure out what you need to pay. If you'll call Ryan Solberg, figure out if you pay your restitution, will he petition the courts to let you off early? He contacted his probation officer, and he said, yes, he can, but you have to pay off all your restitution. So I called John and I said, John, I can't figure out this restitution, man. I think they're trying to screw him over. Remember, there were 5 guys. He's the only one to go to jail. $47,000, John, that's a lot of money. I mean, they really screwed him. And he says, well, some of this is homeowners. And I said, well, that's what I don't know, John. I don't know what's covered by homeowners and what's not. Can you give me a figure that he needs to pay? I'm calling him back and letting him know, because he's called Ryan Solberg. And so lost. What are you guys talking about? If you guys aren't following, get out of here. Leave. I don't know what you talk about. You're sounding like you don't know what you're talking about. Then if you think I'm illogical or something, you got to go. You can't follow, the nose on your face very well. Then obviously, right, it's right there in front of you, but you don't see it. So either way, my son at 17 months, he called his attorney, or called the probation officer, and he said, yes, if you pay your restitution, you can get off early. And so I talked to him again. We had conversation. We called. So these calls should have been summons before they ever SWAT warranted this house. Okay. And they would have seen that Ryan Solberg said yes. And I called John Caligo. Well, $47,000 divided by 5 guys is about 10 grand. Am I, trying to figure out what? So I said, Elijah, you got, cars that you like, Dad, you're a horse trader like me. Some of those little electronic boxes you put inside of those mod cars you make are $1,000, man. We can do this. Let's get this money together. Let's get you off probation. You've done everything you're supposed to do. And he said, Dad, I just don't have it. It's like $1,200 a month. I'm living, helping my girl out, my wife, and it's $1,200 and the power and the water and all. And I said, man, Elijah, come on, man. I'll get some things. We can take care of this. And he said, Dad, I just can't do it. And I said, all right, Elijah, put your head down so you can get this. So he did, guys. And we left it alone. Everything's good. Nothing. He does not have to do any probation. Nothing comes up until he has 3 months until getting off for probation, and they tell him he didn't complete his hours back here. He only had done 47 hours out of the 180, which is not possible. It's not possible. It's an impossibility. He would have said at 6 months on his action plan, Elijah, you need to report to Sheriff Dumar at the Sherman Center, pay $100 and start completing hour 48, 49, 50, 51, 52 to beat his 180 hours. That was never brought up until 3 months until he was to get off probation. This was brought up. Hey, you didn't do it, because I was still f***ing with them out here, brothers and sisters. The farmers, they started targeting my son again. So and they told him, hey, if you can document that you did these hours, we'll let you. But when he called Lake County, they wouldn't answer his phone calls. When he called Lane County, nobody would cooperate with him. So what he did is he had, what was it? At 36 months, he was at month 33. He didn't complete it because he was trying to get all these hours. He started doing his probation, right? They said the 133 hours that he didn't complete, which he already did. So he's now doing extra hours. He puts his head down and he starts doing extra hours. I remember when I called his attorney and said, hey, look, John, I called you before. We called you to get him to come over there. Remember? Yes, I know. But Tracy, they're probation. They do whatever they want over there. I'm a criminal attorney. They're going to do what they want. I said, okay, John. He said, listen, Tracy, you're going to have to tell Elijah he's going to have to start doing those hours over again. He's not going to like it. Why would this attorney get a phone call? Why does this phone call exist? This could have prevented a SWAT raid, brothers and sisters. Okay, this could have prevented a SWAT raid. Why did John Caligo tell me, okay, Tracy, I know, but go ahead and tell him to start doing them over again because he's so close to getting off probation. We don't want him to screw up now, okay? He had already gotten in trouble. He's almost off of this. Just tell him to do the hours over. And then they started pulling his hours from him again, brothers and sisters. John, get the fuck out of here, you pig. Your love of Lucifer that doesn't exist. Nobody puts LOL except for people who are idiots. Your love of Lucifer is obviously, don't ever come back here again, John. I rebuke you. You think it's fucking funny. And you're the problem is you allow people to do this to people. See, look at this, brothers and sisters. An absolute fucking child. Your pleasures offer other people's pain. Aren't you just so happy that I'm in pain right now? Go watch the live stream. You can sit there and just jerk off to the live stream over and over again with me getting hit in the grenade in the face, okay? So there it is, guys. Look, love of Lucifer, and Lucifer doesn't even exist. So anyways, brothers, sisters, after that, I started calling, making telephone calls, and I've called hundreds of times. They didn't care. They just SWAT raided this house. So it's because they're upset at me, okay? And they want to take it out on my son. And that's how it goes. And that's how this case works. So to show you that they want me, they came out here, SWAT raided this house with a warrant for his arrest, hit me in the face with a grenade, tear gassed me with 5 tear gas canisters, try to either make sure I don't ever have a voice again or kill me, at the very least silence me. That was their mission, to silence me, to make sure I don't speak up about these corrupt farmers and corrupt cops. They don't want their corruption exposed. And so they brought the state of Oregon out here, and instead of looking into any of the evidence, and I have a lot more than what I just said you, I live streamed for 256 hours pleading to them, please, guys, don't bring guns down here. Please, we can fix this. We can negotiate this. I know you have a warrant for my son's arrest, but I cannot let you arrest him. At 36 months, brothers and sisters, they extended my son's probation without a probation violation. No violation. He didn't do anything wrong, and they gave him a whole 48 months, right? Well, 12 more months to complete the 133 hours. He starts doing all the hours again. This is criminal, guys. They make him an indentured servant to fucking probation. And he has a wife and a job, and he has got to do all this over again, which he already did. This is how good my son is, not as a young man, why I'm standing up for him, because nobody else will. So he puts his head down. He does all the hours again. He gets to month 42, and they say, hey, you're going to jail. You didn't complete all your hours. And he has 36 to 42 is 6 months. He's got 6 more months to complete those hours. He's got no probation violations. None. He was on felony supervised probation. Okay? Jesus Christ is the prophet of God, not his son. What in the hell are you talking about? Hey, MXO, quit speaking pagan. You're a pagan. I rebuke you. You're a pagan. You know that? Christ is a pagan term. There's no such thing as prophecy. God is not written in Scripture. Jesus is not written in the text. Quit speaking. You're a swine heathen. You literally are. None of these words that you speak are in the original text, so you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what hell is or what the hell you're talking about. So quit speaking about the Scripture. You are a antichrist, and what would be the first people that Christ deals with when he returns. Christ's a pagan term, by the way. So quit speaking like a pagan. You speak like a pagan, and there's no such thing as prophecy. So I don't think you know what you're talking about. The very first people he deals with is people just like you. False teachers. Scorpizzo is what he says. The Scorpizzo. So don't talk about anything in that book. You're not even speaking words that are in that book. You've added. He said in Revelation, don't add to my book. So you are. You are. Brothers and sisters, I'm doing the same thing. Brothers and sisters, Christ stood against the perversion of the law. This guy's perverted and warping and adding and, to Scripture. So you got to point this stuff out, okay? This is what I do. I'm a veteran. He tells me he said not only as a veteran, he tells me to do this, period. So, bro, I don't know what you're saying. The only thing I know is, bro, I'm not your bro. All right, you're out of here because you're an idiot. You're just speaking psychobabble. So let's get rid of you. Okay, so we're going to watch this SWAT raid one more time. I got to tone this down. What time is it? Yeah, we'll finish this up, guys. So 0 donations came in for the ministry today, guys. Not a single penny. Can you believe that? All day, not one person donated a dime. That's okay. Father, help me on this last one to provide by selling this other land and vehicles and things that I had. I had to lose some of the possessions that I had, but we gained the ministry, $47,000 to complete the final payment to pay off the ministry, and not one of you helped a dime. So that's okay. We streamed all day. We probably did 8-10 hours of live stream. People gave millions of dollars, a bunch of fake ministries today, and not a single dime came into the ministry. Hallelujah for that. Thank you, Father, for the people just being here to be a witness. I don't need anything. Father will provide. I have land for sale, and I'll get it taken care of. But I think that's kind of ironic. I just looked at it. I've been here how long, and nobody even gave a penny. Just like the last time. So don't worry, brothers. It's not mad, and I'm still doing it. So, oh, hey, now you didn't have to, guys. I'm not trying to grift you guys. I told everybody you didn't have to last time unless you had abundance. So you didn't even let me finish. So, you guys can continue to support this ministry by coming back with your time, guys. You don't have to donate, okay? It's not required. I didn't get any donations last time, and remember, I still kept coming here day after day after day, and I didn't say I need any more. I didn't grift anybody for anything. I just bought another property that's got a house and septic and sewer and washing machine and for the ministry. So that's where it's going to go for. Thank you so much, Mob Rules. I appreciate it. It's not going to get thrown away. You just donated towards a ministry. So I appreciate it. Sucks that the YouTube editor just took 30% of what you gave, but we'll take the remaining and appreciate it. You have made the first contribution, Mob Rules, towards the ministry. So other people are going to benefit. And if you'll stay here, you can watch your money, what we do with the ministry. And if not, like I said, there's things here. There's a whole ministry here too that we have an abundance that we can provide for as well. So if I could return this to you at all, if you're ever in Silver Lake, Oregon, and you'd like to stay at the cabins, a cabin rental, Kevin's going to be moving out very soon. They're going to be going for $100, $150 a night. You can eat. I'd like you to take that $10 and give you a night or 2 or 3 night stay. You'd stay a while if you'd like. No charge. Okay, Mob? If you're over here on the West Coast, come on out here and enjoy a night. Live off the grid for a little bit. I got a composting toilet in there. We'll make sure it's not that bad for you, lights, and put some solar and stuff. But hey, I'd like to return the favor to you if you could. I'm not trying to take anybody's money, brothers and sisters. Please, I don't want to be at their end of judgment. Why mob rules needed that money, and that he was out on her for you to come out here and have you stay. And that could be a separate thing, like a total business thing. You don't have to talk to me or check you in. So thank you for the donation, Mob. I really do. I don't want to take from anybody. Okay. I do. First contribution to the ministry comes from Mob Rules. You know, Mob Rules is democracy, right? Mob Rules, democracy, 49 to 51, right? Hey, 3 schmucks we got to pay off and we got it back in our favor. That's Mob Rule. What do I got here? Piece of something there. So I appreciate it, guys. You know what I'm saying? So if you are on the West Coast and you want to come out here, you're more than welcome to come stay a few nights. That's $400 or $500 or serve the, you know, I don't want anybody who doesn't have abundance, guys. Please don't give anything to this ministry. Father provided. Now, it was by my hand, but I have property for sale. I'm putting my motorcycle. If you guys want to buy something from me, I have stuff up for sale too. I'm not trying to just take your money, okay, guys? I have a very nice Honda Valkyrie up for sale, a beautiful, beautiful bike. You know, I've only got to ride it a couple times. It'd be a good deal. I got a Jeep up for sale, really nice, classic CJ7 Jeep. I put my own car up for sale. I have a 4Runner up for sale, 96 4Runner, really nice 4Runner. Runs great. That's up for sale. Flatbed's going up for sale. Finally going to sell that easel. I'm going to sell it. I need to get this ministry. I need to get that secure, that this gentleman needs to go and do what he needs to do with the money. So the longer I take to get this money up, it's going to, you know, I want to provide the opportunity. So I'm very thankful again, Mob Rules. I hope that did not put you out in any way, shape, or form. I don't want anybody to, you know, to struggle because of this ministry. We actually have abundance out here. And that's what I'm trying to provide with that place, is a place to take and put a freeze dryer, because I don't have a constant power. I'm not hooked up to the grid. So I just don't have the consistent power. I don't have enough batteries to do nothing like that. I run small light source and charge my phone, and that's about all the power that I use. I charge batteries to use, you know, cordless power tools, but that's about it, you know, out here. So okay, that's what I'm hoping, Mob. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put anybody out. I'm already blessed, man. You know, like I said, to be able to have this land paid off, man, it feels so good that nothing's going to happen to it, and it can't be taken. This is the ministry's land, and this is what I do. I'm going to continue, like I said, to work towards putting towards this, you know, I'm trying to figure out the best way, because this 501c3 is pretty tricky. I don't want the government to be able to come in and have any say in anything on this property. I want it only to be to the body of the church. I need it to not to be any attached. So if there's any kind of funding that needs to be brought in by the government that can change, I don't want any connection to it. I only want it to be, you know, by the ministry, and to keep it out of the government's hands. That way it can never be taken. And that way, if I die, it will continue to provide. What if they shoot me? Then the ministry can still provide for the people that are still here. So, you know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. I know it. And I thank you so much. I'm super excited about doing the work on that. And you guys will see me. We'll do live streams. I think that's actually where we'll do more live streams up in that area. And we'll do the work on the property. We'll show you. It needs a lot of work, guys. That property is not in very good shape. I just picked up a big project. It's not like I bought something. Yeah, don't donate, guys. God will provide, just like he did last time. So yeah, listen to Josh. Don't donate anything. If you don't have it, make sure you've got abundance. Father always does provide. And if it does provide through, like, again, last time it was by giving Kevin an opportunity, giving him selling the land that I'd worked very hard for how many years it took me to I was going to pay this land off, and the land came up for sale next to me, so I purchased that because they really didn't want a neighbor, and now I've got the best neighbor there is, Kevin, and he's part of the ministry as well. So, yeah, don't donate if you don't have it. Listen to Josh. Josh knows what he's talking about. Make sure you have an abundance if you can. Remember, millions of dollars are donated to fake ministries. Think about how many. Let's take a. Josh says, and focus on praying. Well, tell me Josh, will you tell me what it means to pray? Tell me what it means to pray. Define something, or get your stubborn like a mule, like a donkey. Stop acting like, you didn't have to slap a license on the back of that ass when he rolled into Jerusalem. Tell me what the word pray means, or you got to go. And don't ever come back here again, Josh, because I don't think again, remember, 2 wings to the same dragon, 2 cheeks to the same hole. You're slap a license on the back of that ass when he rolled into Jerusalem from a hole in the ground. So tell me what you have to define to stay in here. Definition or leave. So tell me what it means to pray. Give me what it means to pray, to pray to Father. Tell me what it means to pray. Or I think you should shut your mouth and don't ever come back here again, and don't speak up because you're not part of the body. Ask God for wisdom means to pray. All right, Josh, remove yourself, or Lady in red, if Josh says anything, remove him, please, immediately, because that's not what the word means. Pray. He's a demon. That would be to distribute fortunes or lies to others. So he doesn't understand what it means to pray. And if he knew exactly what it was, I'd let him stay in here. But he's blaspheming the Scripture. So he's obviously never prayed or understand what it's mean, like in the Lord's Prayer, But that's okay. I'm not trying to turn a goat into a sheep. So, Josh, the only person that's speaking about not, and you don't have to. Again, if you've been here before, you'll know that I tell you that you don't have to donate any money. This ministry paid off right with the $46 through the work of all the work that's been done in the last 10 years. And that's why I've been able to donate my time and put so much time into this ministry. So with this work, I've also now been able to acquire another location. So it's okay. Father will provide, but it's not, like I said, these people they haven't been here to see this ministry grow in the last, 3 years from the ground up. And so it's longer than that. This property was purchased over 10 years. The first payments was made where the down payment, like I did recently, and I put a very substantial, he has another location. Yeah, I have this property, the property up the road, 20 acres, the 5 acres up the road, and now just acquired the in-town property. Laughing your ass off. Yep. So, wisdom will not come from an imaginary skyman. So you guys can keep saying that. That's fine. Hey, I bet you, I don't even want you to go there. I bet you people might just start gifting me because you guys are like the opposite. Somebody might just do it to just be the opposite. Like you guys are being the opposite. Like you guys are being opposite. You don't know anything about High Desert Faith and Truth. You don't know anything about Grace and Truth. You don't know anything about the ministry. It's the first time you guys have ever been here. So you don't know anything about it. I bet you somebody almost, and there's no such thing as luck, that I'll get another Cash App if I stay in here because somebody will just rebuke you to make you look like an idiot. And I don't want that, but it's kind of, people always have to do the opposite. So you're fine. If you want to be the opposite, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? No worries. No worries. This will all be taken care of. Just like Josh said, God will provide. It doesn't say God in Scripture. What is Josh talking about? God? Who's God? And then the other one. Who was the other one that made the comment? We got to address the trolls before we go, brothers and sisters. Josh, do you have a ministry? Do you have a place? How many followers do you have? Do you teach the gospel? Josh, what's your channel name? Josh, I'm talking to you. If you can't answer me, my moderator will moderate you. Josh, what's your channel name and where's your gospel at? Where's the gospel? Where are you teaching that? Where are you sharing that? What's your location? You don't have to have a location, but this actually has a physical location, and we're looking at trying to provide for other people here actually food. Food is something that we can provide to abundance of here because we have the ability with the underground gardens to be growing these. So what is your ministry name? where, because if you can share with others in the location, they can get a hold of you. And so, Josh, where's the ministry? Okay, I'm asking you. I know we got trolls in here. You guys can just do it. Come on. So, what did he say? Your location is in your mom's house. Oh, okay, so Josh just a troll. Okay. Anyways, all right, guys. I thought maybe we were actually going to get somebody that was going to produce some fruit in here. So you'll know them by their fruit. Once again, we'll go again and say thanks to Mob for making the first donation towards the new location that we're expanding this ministry. It's an online ministry, brother, sister. So nobody's actually ever showed up other than Ted to enjoy. You see that Mob, made a donation, and I offered him to come out because we have cabins out here that was supposed to be housing, and we've had a switch where we're going to be able to rent some of these cabins out. We've never rented any of the cabins again. So we're going to start being able to do that. And he gave a $10 donation. The ministry is not going to receive, but about 70%. They take about 30 through the YouTube AdSense program here, and that's why I turned the monetization off for many months. And there, you couldn't even donate to the channel. There was no way to make any donations. So I turned off monetization. I wasn't trying to even advertise. There was no money being made, for many months. So there's no money come in through the ministry, and I'm making money off of this. I'm actually taking everything I have and donating it to the ministry. So I don't really have anything to gain. So people come in here, don't know anything. That's okay. And normally we don't talk about this till the end of the stream. So I was getting ready to end the stream. So I thought we'd bring it up again, before we go. So I do appreciate Mob, because we'll, if Mob wants to follow, he can stay following on the channel and watch the building of it's going to probably cost, $10,000 just to get that property back up into, to an order where it can bring people in, and it needs some work. It's been neglected. It's not it's just a single wide trailer, and it's not, something fancy. It's what the ministry can afford for now, and we'll take by the sweat of my brow and my hands. I build from the ground up. You can see the cabins, the Rusty Dragon, the Rusty Butterfly, the Rusty Cowboys, the building that I'm in now. And I was just shooting from the hip right now. No, we're just going to grift the hell out of everybody until we get out. Or no more gospel. We're just going to grift you. Here we go. And people can come in here and think I'm a grifter, but they're not. They don't know the ministry. So I don't care. It's just, we'll feed the trolls a little bit, and they can go find thousands of hours of gospel. Remember being taught. No Tracy being potty mouthed, and that I wasn't concussed by the state of Oregon. I wasn't hit, with a grenade. If you've noticed, my voice is just getting horrid. It's hard to talk anymore. And it's not from coming on here. It's just squeezing of my lungs that's been going on. It's not supposed to be breathing tear gas. For months I did. I'm feeling the effects of it, I'm thinking I'm getting better, and sometimes, and then I teeter back off. I bet you if I was 20, I could kick this thing pretty quick. But very, very okay. All right, I don't know what's going on here. I appreciate you guys listen. My life. I mean, this is where on. So I'm hoping that go teach the gospel already. I don't really go teach the gospel already. I don't really want to hold down the ministry.